Hello and welcome back to the Gamer Muscle YouTube channel, where we're continuing our live streaming of Project Cars 2, testing whilst dying, and we're going to be playing through some more of the single player here, and we might even be able to get into some multiplayer servers, which would be nice. But as the game's not out yet, there's obviously not that many people playing it online, so we might not be able to test that. If you're watching this as a catch-up video, obviously you probably want to skip. Hello! Welcome back again. Let's see if this works this time. Welcome to Gamer Muscle Videos live, assuming it's actually working. If it does stop again, we'll be back in a minute. And as I was saying before we crashed, if you're watching this as a catch-up video, feel free to skip ahead, because you know, we're gonna have some fiddling with settings and stuff. So if you want to get to the good bits, you might have to skip. But that's the advantage of watching later rather than sooner. So, hello everyone in chat. Let's see if this is actually working this time. If it actually burst into flames. I'm not sure what happened there. OBS was still running, but decided to sort of start. It was like a Ferrari pit stop. Okay. We got coffee. That's all that matters. Yeah, I do some rallycross. Let's. What I really want to do though is I've got to tweak the force feedback settings, because I feel like we can get more out of the force feedback than what we're currently getting from it. Hi, Classic Sea View. So I'm also going to start a new driver career, and we'll start off with some rubbish cars. Wonder if we create the same title as our previous one, what we'll do. Okay, well, I think we're going to start off here with... we could either go through the Formula Rookie. I think I'm going to go with the La-di-da cars, you know. Ginetta Junior Challenge, just so it goes. Because I want to test out the AI with these vehicles. One thing I've noticed with Project Cars 2 is the AI... are not particularly good with certain cars, and also the faster cars don't seem to be as nice in handling as the slower cars. They seem a bit ill-defined and gloopy, but the slower cars actually seem quite nice. So I'm probably going to start off, I think I might go with this Junior Ginetta Challenge. Well, that'd be a good sort of benchmark part to begin with, I guess, and then we can go through this series here. Why not? That sounds like a good idea to me. And then we can always check the Formula cars out in just custom games. So yes, let's do that. Junior Ginetta. I don't know. I assume I've got the latest version. It's the Steam version that was that's been updated. Patch everything. So you can do short, and then you have 2 races. We'll do full. Might as well do full. Rules and regulations. Don't want that. But what we want is... we've got to pick a car. Which Ginetta should we go through, guys? Guys in chat. I actually quite like these vehicles as well. They look nice. Talk about the handling. As it is, it's kind of a weird one, because it definitely has its own handling characteristics to it. It's kind of loose in some ways. Like the cars kind of move around the track quite a bit. It's not as tight as, say, like a Assetto Corsa, race room and what have you. It's got really nice, forgivable slip character, so you can sort of play with the car on the limit a bit and move it around. But it lacks the tightness that you get with some of the other simulators. It does depend from car to car, though. So what I found is that cars like the Caterham in this seem to behave exactly as I'd expect them to in reality, and I have a bit applied to them, more to move around. They actually do quite feel moderately tight, but certain cars kind of just seem to be a bit vague in their character. But I'm hoping some of that is to do with my force feedback settings. I just need to dial the force feedback in to get it to be a bit tighter feeling. But what is really nice, obviously, all the transitions from the different types of weather, the off-road driving. There's a load of stuff that's really nice with it, with the handling as well. Oh, Cranshaw. I'm not going to pick a car here. I'm getting distracted. What car should we go for? What colour? These are the important things. I think I'll go for the orange one. No, let's go for this one. There we go. Picked. Yeah, we'll get the new DLC for AC tonight, yeah. That'd be good fun to play. I think for most people, the main reason to play Project Cars 2 will just be the amount of content that's in it, and then experiencing it in the different times of day, different weather, you know, the different settings. What I'm really interested to see is the multiplayer, because I haven't been able to test it yet, because there's never been any servers online, because obviously it's not out yet, so it's hard to actually get an idea of the multiplayer. See if any have actually popped up. Because to me, that's what gets me playing driving simulators, is the multiplayer, and just how, you know, how active the multiplayer ends up being and how clean the online racing is a really big hook for me when it comes to driving sims. So there's no servers up for us to be able to test that. But it'll be interesting on the 22nd to see what it's like with the ranking system they've got. Hi, SYNF1. So, what I need to do actually, I need to just tweak the force feedback. So I'll just do a quick private testing. Might as well do it with the genetics. You see, we've got the Caterham selected. At the moment, the Caterham to me is the best. Caterham 7 620R is the best car in the game. I should drive that all day long in the different weather. That's me done. Put your VR headset on, drive Caterham around. Doesn't need anything else in the game. What was it? It was... There you go. So we can just test this. Yeah, I really do like the Caterham. I'd probably get one in real life. If I suddenly came into a lot of money and I was like, oh, I'd really like an impractical vehicle, I'd probably pick up a Caterham. You can get them for like 15,000, the lower spec ones, and then top end ones are sort of 35 to 50,000, I think. Hang on, which way? I wasn't paying attention. Which way is he pointing? Oh, he stopped pointing now. It's Brands Hatch, isn't it? I wasn't paying any attention at all. So it's right. Oh dear. Half asleep. I have to bear in mind, I feel like I've got the flu, so if I start going crazy, passing out, or suddenly just start talking total nonsense, it's probably that. It's the drugs kicking in, so keep that in mind. Right, so let me just change my force feedback. I'm using a direct drive wheel here. It's the SW20 by Simplicity. 20 Newton meter direct drive wheel, and then with that you use MOS. Let me see if I can get this window on the screen for you guys. Do window capture. There we go. So I'm using MOS for the force feedback. This lets me set stuff like dampening and all the goodness. Is the game sound not coming through? Hang on, let's fix that. It's a permanent flu. Sometimes it feels like it. I don't know what's been wrong with me recently. Should probably go to the doctors, but that would be the sensible thing to do. Okay, you should be getting audio from the game. Yeah, that's working. Right, so I'm using EMOS for the force feedback, and I need to dial this in because I had this set up for the press version, but the force feedback's changed in the release version. So I think I'm going to turn the dampening off and actually give it a go without any dampening, but often what that can do is end up making things overly springy. And by the way, welcome to the chat, Abagafaran. The crazy German is here. Oh, the game sounds low. Okay, we can turn that up. Okay. Hi, Simon Byway. I had a G25 for like 6 years. You really don't need anything better, you know. If it's working for you, it's working. We've got the overall filter on 6. Minimum force is 0. So this is off essentially in terms of this is fairly raw. Normally need to put a bit of dampener on, but we'll save that as our Project Cars 2 profiler, and then it's going to be a case of filling in game. Okay. Oh, I need to turn that off the screen. Sorry, guys. The program I've got in the background is EMOS, what it does is what I'm using for my force feedback. It's like the Logitech profiler, but for direct drive wheels. Just for sim racing, Dasman Daz, I'd go for the Oculus Rift because of the asynchronous spacewalk. If you do get one, definitely click on our affiliate link. if you get one from Amazon, and then with that, I get some money when you buy it. It costs you exactly the same. But yeah, I'd definitely go for the Oculus Rift over the Vive purely for sim racing, just because of the asynchronous spacewalk. Rare sunny day at the hatch. Okay, so let's get the view in a bit. Yeah, I definitely think the slower cars in Project Cars 2 were a lot more realistic than the faster cars. Not that I've driven any of them, so... First corner punt. See, this car's got really nice handling to it, but I'm still not getting as much force feedback feel as I really want to be getting. It's on the brake I want to get more feel, so we'll probably tweak some stuff in game. So, force feedback. I've got it on... Let's put it on... If I put this on 100, I probably won't even be able to turn the steering wheel. It's probably going to go crazy. We'll see what happens. Now, this is what I normally do when I'm sorting out force feedback. I will just put everything to 0 and go one by one and see what happens. So, well, let's see if the wheel explodes if I do this. And this could be interesting. Get ready to push the stop button. This is the thing with direct drive wheels. When you put everything on max, you want to watch out. Whoa! Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. We can't go to max. So you've got a bit of an oscillation going on there. You might have noticed that. That's pretty funny. Let's check that out again. Okay. Oh! Yeah, so you can't put it on 100% because it does start oscillating. So let's not go for that. The thing is, you can rectify that kind of oscillation with dampening, but you know, some sims will actually do that by themselves. You know, they won't oscillate in that way. So let's try the volume on 50. See what happens. Yeah, it's always good to have the stop button. I mean, you find it with all the sims, to be honest, because the direct drive wheel is pretty crazy until you dial it in. Okay, there we go. Right. See, there you go. That's a lot better. So as it is here, when the slip starts happening, once you start sliding, the force feedback just goes really ambiguous with no tone setting on. So, yeah, that's not ideal. So here, there's no force feedback feel, but then once the car comes back into grip, there is force feedback. So you definitely need that tone setting to give you communication once you've sort of gone over the limit. This is the thing, every single driving simulator you get into, you kind of have to work out their force feedback philosophy. In VR, you definitely want a 1070 with Project Cars 2, I'd say. Otherwise, you will have to start turning things down a lot. If you're running in 2D, I would have thought a 960 would be fine. It might be the case that we're getting a 1080 Ti to review, actually, which will be really exciting. Because then I'm expecting we should be able to pump the graphics onto absolutely max in VR with a whole bunch of games. That'll be incredible. So I'm really excited for that. Not sure if it's happening yet. But hopefully it will. No, I didn't quit. I play all the simulators. I just I sleep around, you know. I don't really care. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to sort of pure console games. I don't particularly like the Codemasters Formula 1 games, but with the simulators, you know, I play AC, Race Room, R Factor 2. Anything that's basically got VR support in it, I'll happily get into. Yeah, see, the only thing that's lacking is the feeling for the brakes. You know, when you put the brake on, what's really nice in Sims is if, and a lot of Sims don't do this well anyway, I think AC and Race Room are the only ones that really have it. When you put the brake on, you should sort of feel a slight analog tug on the force feedback, so you know how much brake pressure you're putting on, you know how, in what way the car's loaded up on the front of the wheels. You probably set things up, Miss MIS 1986. You probably set things up wrong because I'm running a 1070 with AC, and I can, if I'm not streaming, I can put most things on medium, at least. It depends how much super sampling you run. So I'm not sure with this. We've got the volume. Put some effects on and see what happens here. Let's put this at 50. I think this is just sort of track texture and rumble, but Let's see what that's like. Might also depend if you're running the post-processing effects in AC, because they can be quite heavy in VR. Whoa, I just dropped the mouse on the floor. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your system there, because, as I say, T300, crazy driving there. Yeah, so still getting an ambiguous feel over the limit. And then because it doesn't, if you throw it in, it doesn't self-align as you sort of generally expect. So it kind of gets stuck. So you definitely need that tone setting. Realistic. I don't know if I've got damage turned on. I'll have to have a look at that.
Go, go, go.
Look at this weird oscillation when parked. I don't know what that's about. Christian 444. It depends on. It will depend on the type of thing you're looking to get from it and what you do with your driving games. I think on console it is, because there's nothing else you can really play that offers the same sort of thing. On PC, it will depend on the multiplayer. I think for me. I mean, there's a ton of content in there, and there are some really nice cars. So it depends if the cars that you like are the ones that are good in the game, or good in your opinion, as to if you get your money from it, really. So, there's a tone setting here. I wouldn't use the helmet camera in VR. to be honest, just have it playing, because your VR headset or makes it feel like you're wearing a helmet by default. So you don't really need an extra texture in front of your face, really. Well, the thing is, with the gain, as long as it's not clipping, it shouldn't make any. I mean, I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know with the defaults of the game if 50 is 100% in the game, and you can go over it, or if 100 is 100. So this is the other thing. Okay, let's try that at 50, and then let's try everything at 50 and see what that's like. This is what happens with me when I'm playing new games. I will literally spend hours going through all the force feedback settings to see what the absolute most I can get out of it is. With whatever I've tried, I haven't been able to get a really nice brake feel from the game. It's just easier having a gear stick on the right for jumping in and out of the sim rig, so that's why I put it there. Yeah, that's still not as communicative as I think it could be. Let's put tone at 100 as well. Put volume at 50 and tone at 100. The force feedback settings are much more simplified compared to Project Cars 1. But you know, you can go to a text file and edit stuff manually. If you do custom here, there's a text file you can edit, but it's not exactly that obvious what does what. It's the kind of thing you spend hours fiddling with. So I'm just using raw at the moment, which basically it's the best thing to do if you've got a direct drive wheel, and then just fiddle with these settings. But as it is, from the time I spent with it, I can't get it feeling as nice as, say, Assetto Corsa or Racer and Racing Experience or R Factor 2 in terms of the amount of information communicated through the force feedback. It does stuff like, you know, self-aligning and everything seems as is, as you know, as you would expect. Like the cars bring themselves in. It's just getting that subtle feel for the tyre load going into a corner and the understeer going into a corner. Sort of a preemptive feel, if you know what I mean. Where Project Cars 2 force feedback seems to be good is mid-corner force feedback and sort of tyre load mid-corner. But to be honest, once you're ruled in mid-corner, you're kind of committed. Where you really need the force feedback is the self-aligning to correct the back of the car, but also the braking. So you know if you're applying too much or too little brake, or if you're going into a corner too hot and you've got really good front end feel. When you start turning, you can tell that the car's starting to understeer, so you then know that you needed to go into the corner slower. This car's handling is really nice. I just can't get the force feedback to be as sexy as I'd like it so far. You can see you can absolutely abuse this car as you would expect. I think the over the limit handling in Project Cars 2 is actually really nicely done. Okay, let's have a... I haven't done a full review yet. I really want to test the multiplayer out properly, because that, for me, that's one of the biggest components when it comes to driving sims and realistic racing games. I've literally got about 20 minutes of review there, covering UI, AI, and a whole bunch of stuff. But without multiplayer, it's not really like it's not a complete review, really. The longest run I've done is about 20 lap races. I haven't done any proper endurance racing, so I haven't tested that component of it. And to be honest, I don't know with car tyres what's right or wrong when it comes to them heating up. Other than, you know, if you drive aggressively in certain situations, you expect them to heat up, and the wet, you know, I don't know how long they're supposed to last in general, other than from watching racing on TV. But you know, in an absolute sense, so it would be hard for me to be critical about those components of the game. And to be honest, 90% of the racing I do will be sub 20 laps. I don't normally do pit stop racing either. So, yeah. It'd be something worth testing out, but it's not my highest of priorities. I haven't noticed anything in the short term of the tyres being totally broken, though. But, you know, it's the kind of thing that you find out when you start messing a lot with setups. I don't know why I just did that. Let's turn the volume up here. So I think gain needs to be on 100%, and then you edit these volume and tones, you know, to get the most out of it. Well, it makes sense. I mean, normally, gain determines how strongly on a scale of 0 to 100 you feel the force feedback. So as long as it's not clipping, you normally want the gain high. But you know, games don't always make sense in how they do stuff. Well, Ian Bell was recently on someone's stream, I think it was today actually, and he was saying, oh, you know, it's fantastic on direct drive wheels. So, and to be honest, a game doesn't need to be optimised for a direct drive wheel. You basically just feel what the force feedback of a game is with a direct drive wheel, because it doesn't mask the force feedback like consumer wheels. So you basically just feel what the game is putting out. Well, you do have to twiddle with some settings though. There's this UI stuff here. There we go. Force feedback's in the bottom left-hand corner. It's a miss shift if there ever was one. So yeah, we can use that to see if it's clipping actually. You see it? I don't know if you guys can see that clearly. This is feeling a lot better now actually. This is much more responsive. So it is just a case of dialing it in. I mean, this is what I do with every bloody game. You know, you have to spend a couple of hours. Well, I do because I make the videos on it. You spend a few hours getting the settings to what you want. Then you're good. I'll of course put everything in a video once we've got really good settings. I wouldn't be surprised if the defaults with this will be good for, you know, if you've got a G25 or a T300 or something, or Fanatec wheel, and you just plug that in, you should get good results, because I know Slightly Mad Studios have put quite a bit of effort into making sure the defaults on those devices are a lot better. Okay. I'm not sure what... I don't quite understand how the force feedback is represented. Sorry if I'm missing chat messages. What are you guys saying? Yeah, I don't... Can you guys see it on your screen? Let me have a look if you check OBS. Steering ratio. Oh, what, for the individual cars and how tight the car is, yeah. Oh yeah, I think you guys can see that. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, my view with force feedback, Mr. Pohoff, is I don't actually mind different driving sims having a different end feel to them. All I care about is that the sim or driving game, it doesn't even matter if it's a sim or arcade game, all I care is that it has a certain type of force feedback for the sort of gamut of what you need to feel when it comes to driving a car, and you know, you then adapt to how it portrays that. I mean, obviously you would hope that they were all fairly similar, given that simulators are trying to simulate reality. Yeah, I'm using the K2 cockpit right now, Silent Gaming. So this feels quite good. I'm still not getting brake feel. Okay. Oh, maybe a tiny bit. Because as I'm doing that, I can feel it once it's going over the limit on the front. It's lighting up. It's really, really subtle, and it's only. I'm only really feeling it once I'm locking up. I want like a lead into that through the force feedback, so I know when I'm pushing the brake, you know, how much I'm pushing the brake relative to how much grip I've got. What are you saying, Ark Crenshaw? I think the number one reason not to get a direct drive wheel is just the cost. I think that's the only. The only reason not to get one. If direct drive wheels were cheaper, you know, it'd be like everyone should just get them. So that's with the tone on 100%, the gain on 50, and the volume on 80. So let's put the volume on 100 with the gain on 50. Why are we talking about cup sizes? Yeah, I've used that brake vibration before, and I've used Fanatec wheels with it, but to be honest, it's not that useful because it's just a vibration. It's once you've already locked up. What you need is like a lead-in force for front-end grip. So as you gradually push the brake, you know, you can feel the car load up with different amounts of tugging. It has to be like a analog force rather than a vibration. I mean, I guess you could convey it with vibration by how fast a vibration motor vibrates, but this car's going to be fantastic in VR. I mean, I have to say, just playing in VR as well is amazing. But whilst I'm setting up settings and streaming, it seems better to be in 2D. If you want to feel more grip loss and detail, yeah, I've tried that, but then what seems to happen is when you turn the tone setting down, you don't. It does the opposite of what you're saying. What happens with the tone setting, when you put it to, say if I do it on 0, what happens here is yeah, okay, so it is lightening up, but it's too late for it to be of use, if that makes sense. Let's see, let's keep driving. Okay, yeah, so once it goes over the limit with tone on 0, you get it just turns into, the force feedback goes to off. So yeah, I can feel the load of the tyres now more, but yeah, it's only once I lock up that it goes really loose. It's not like a lead in into it. How do I mount the button box to the K2 cockpit? I've put the shifter upside down, the shifter plate upside down, and I've used Subaru to lock this Derek Spears design button box in place, and I then screw this SH8 shifter onto the side of the button box. Yeah, so with the tone set to 0, I'm feeling really nice force feedback for the tyre load, sort of mid-corner, and its speed. and as you get into more slip, it gets lighter, but it's not like immediate on the brake, if that makes sense. I mean, it is, but it's only once I'm locking up, or maybe that's just the skid sound. Let's just try driving fast with it. The game's pretty high. I'll probably stream Assetto Corsa Boomagoo as well once the DLC's available, probably about 6 PM. But I'm not feeling too well, so it just depends how well I'm doing. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, you notice that with R Factor 2 a lot, Nicholas. The different, I mean, caster and stuff obviously affects force feedback because it'll affect the car turning into corners and the car following through, and so, you know, obviously the force feedback can only reflect what the car's actually doing. But what I'm really after is that feel that you can set up in Race Room and Assetto Corsa when it comes to the front end specifically. The subtle variation in grip and load for understeer. I just need to push my monitor cable in here. Hang on. I don't know why you get an oscillation there when you're parked. Calm down. Well, it's perfectly happy doing that. Why has my monitor died? Why is it? Wheels just gone crazy there. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you can get your wheel going a bit crazy. You can set the AccuForce up to do that as well. I've not set any dampening or anything, so it's literally 100% what the game's putting out. I've literally turned all dampening off with MOS at the moment, so it's 100% what the game's sending to the wheel that's coming through. Okay.
Go, go, go.
What's going on here? I think I've broken my wheel. The wheel's not centered. The wheel is centered. It's probably the camera angle and the shape of the rim makes it look off-centered. Let's just restart this. What? Let's restart these. Project Cars has broken my wheel! No, I don't know what's going on here. I might have accidentally unplugged something from my computer when I went back to fix my monitor cable, so Let's go back to the PC. Hi, Sim Racing Girl. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I unplugged the USB cable. It's my fault. It was because my monitor cable got loose, so when I was poking around with that, I obviously unplugged my wheel by accident. As you do. You've got all the console gamers now going, this is why I play on a console, I don't have any of this. Right, that's that fixed. Let's load the game back up and let's continue this exciting delve into the force feedback of Project Cars 2. You know, I think people come to expect the most riveting, entertaining streams when they come to this channel. Spilled tea on it again. I've got coffee this time. Sim Racing Girl, have you... First of all, aren't you in Germany? Oh, it's Tuesday, so you're back from that. And secondly... Are you retarded? Okay, thank you, Jay Wong. What is that? I've totally lost my train of thought. Thank you for the donation, Jay Wong. You're crazy. I will be getting the the Forza 7 demo. I will check it out. We will be driving that. I'm probably going to buy Forza 7, and I've lost the plot here. And we will be driving that and comparing it with the other Sims. Yes. Thanks so much for the donation. What was I saying? Oh, Sim Racing Girl. Didn't you get a copy of Project Cars 2? And if you have, you should get online so we can actually try and get a lobby filled up. I tried contacting Jimmers, and he can get on it as well. Do you play Sims all day? This is pretty much, yeah, it is at the moment. Focusing on the YouTube and the sim racing. I mean, unfortunately, as I say, I've not been well this last week or so. But yeah, I can't think of a better life. Simulations are absolutely amazing. Where were we? Right, private testing. Setting up the generator, setting up the force feedback. Once we're there, I promise we'll go through the single player. We started a new profile. We're going to go all the way through. We're going to take Nick Hamilton's career. He consulted on this game as well, so it better be good. His career component better be good, and we're going to go through that. But first, we're going to try and nail the force feedback, because that's what people come here for such riveting and exciting viewing. And here we go, back to the wobbly. Oh no, this is my fault again. Now that we've done that, let's load the correct profile. There we go. Right. Oh, actually, that is one thing I've noticed. When you first come out of the pits, the force feedback seems really magnified. And I don't know why. See, it's different that time from the previous time. So I don't know what's going on there with the force feedback. Why it seems to change each time you load it up. Oh, I'm missing messages here. Sorry, guys. Sorry for missing chat messages. As I say, I can only see like 4 at a time, so it's easy for me to miss them. See, now the force feedback's really strong all of a sudden. Did you Yeah, I'll do that, Nicholas Silene.
Take it easy on these tyres, then you get some heat in there.
Did you say, Sim Racing Girl, that you've got a copy of Project Cars 2? See, now the force feedback's got light now. I'm trying to center my wheel straight. Yeah, so if you've got the tone set to 0, once you get over the limit, you don't get any force feedback, Phil. You know, it just goes flat. There's no more communication. Yeah, so I can feel that affecting the force feedback. Maybe we just need a little bit of... When we're parked, we're getting this oscillation. I don't know what causes that. That's only when you're parked. It's just when you park your car, it's like we've got overactive power steering going on here. I could use this to do the washing. Okay. We're getting there, boys and girls. We're getting there. Yeah, go BJTNZ. I mostly play driving simulators in VR. It's only when I'm streaming and setting them up I tend to use 2D. Definitely check out our YouTube channel. If you're watching and you're not subscribed to a channel and you like driving simulators and racing games, subscribe and you'll see. We do mostly driving simulators, virtual reality, and flight simulators. That's mostly what I play. It's mostly what I'm interested in. Wheels under the influence. Okay, so tone on 0. Let's try putting it on, say, like 20. Why not? See, this is what's confusing with it. It says tone is the feeling of surface detail and tyre slip. So you would think putting it on 0 would give you no surface detail and tyre slip. But then it also says it's dependent on the flavour, but we're using raw. Okay, I set it to 35. What I do is I tend to go to two extremes while setting things up, you know, because it's a good way of finding out what does what. Let's go to 35. I'm going to try some of the other flavours, you know, as well. We're using raw because I supposedly recommended for a direct drive wheel, but, you know, I'm just going to go through everything. I don't care what the recommended thing is. We'll just try everything until we get a result we like. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like as Sim Racing Girl said, the reason you'd get Project Cars 2 is that, you know, you can drive in all the different weather, you can drive off-road, and it's got a ton of content and a selection of vehicles, and the single player, I wouldn't say is amazing, but, you know, there's stuff to go through there. It's more fleshed out than what you typically find in most driving simulators in that regard. In terms of raw drive in perfect conditions, such as now, and raw force feedback, I generally prefer Assetto Corsa, Race Room, and you know, those simulators for perfect conditions. But then what you're really getting with Project Cars 2 is the whole sort of transition, all the day and the night, all, you know, all the different conditions and the off-road driving. So, you know, what you always have to do is you have to play the simulator that does best the features that you specifically want at that point in time. And, you know, so if you want to do competitive close online racing, you play iRacing, or you join a league. If you want to drive Ferraris and or specifically want really tight communicative force feedback, then personally I play Assetto Corsa. If I want to do some really nice AI racing, especially the 90s DTM with a tic-tac car, I play Race Room Racing Experience. So that's kind of, you kind of just have to sleep around, you know. Just sleep around and you'll be happy. Just wear protection, boys and girls. Remember, if you are sleeping around, wear protection. That's the important thing. That's all that matters. How long did the shipping take for the K2? I think it's normally about a week or so. I know some people got them sooner, some people later. It probably depends how far away you are from Portugal. You slapper. Right, we're getting there. I feel like we're getting there. As I say, I think the slower cars in Project Cars 2 are actually really nice, especially when you do drive them in the different conditions. Well, so that's... Okay, that is with volume on... I think we could turn the gain up a bit, but then we might get those oscillations back. But we can fix those oscillations with dampening in MOS, so... Yeah, it's hard to know what really is just going to be good. I mean, one of the things I like with AC, with the force feedback in that, is, you know, you don't really have to change anything, and it pretty much feels really good across the board. You don't want to know, Metal Gamer. English slang, kappa slapper. Someone that sleeps around a lot. I mean, but this is the other thing, you know, people be like, oh, Project Cars versus Forza, for example. And I think Project Cars 2, you know, it's very likely that it's going to be more realistic than Forza, because, I mean, just about anything is. But what Forza offers is that sort of single player and the messing around with the cars and what have you, you know, getting an absolute terrible vehicle and doing stuff to it and making it souped up and stuff. You know, that's the allure of Forza. Also the little cinematics and going through the single player, which Project Cars 2 doesn't really offer in the same way. So I say you really just have to look for the features in all of the games and then play the one that you want that will get the features that you're looking for. Okay, we're starting to get there actually with the force feedback. I'm still not getting the brake feel, but yeah, actually I'm getting it there. When I lock up, it's lightening up. So it'll be interesting to see actually with these settings with a faster car, a tighter car, what it's like. What pedal set am I using? I'm using the PT1 pedals by Proto Simtech. Go and check out the website. And actually, they're just about to release the PT2 pedals. And if you're in America and you want really high-end pedals that don't cost you your entire life savings, I mean, they're still expensive compared to your average gaming pedals, but if you want absolutely bloody cracking pedals for what isn't insane pricing, they're probably the best value for money crazy pedals you can get, if that makes sense. PT1 and the PT2s now, I think they're coming out next month. They never do like small batches of them, of say like 100, 200, so it's very hard often to actually get a hold of them. Oh, is that happening today, Steve? Oh, bloody hell, everything's happening today. We've got Assetto Corsa DLC, we've got Project Cars 2, we've got new firmware for the direct drive wheel. I'm going to have a mental breakdown. I can't believe there's 300 people watching me set up the force feedback. Sorry this isn't more entertaining, guys. We will, as I said, we'll be going through the single player in a bit. Oh dear. I mean, you know, 300 people, you could be out enjoying the sunshine. I'm assuming you're not all living in the UK. You could be talking to women or men, giving each other massages. You could be drinking tea. Could be having a barbecue. Maybe you're all just skiving off work. That's understandable. Okay, this feels better. Getting a bit more snap from it. A bit more communication. What is nice actually is when you do lock it in a slide, I think that's one thing that Project Cars 2 seems to do quite well, is the way you can hook a car into a drift and hold it there. He says, drastically going over the limit and making a mess of it. So the sun's out here. I should be out reviewing my drone that I've got a review. I got this drone sent to me about 2 weeks ago to do a review on. After getting it, opened it all, unboxed it and everything, put it all together. I was like, that footage is done. I'll go outside and film the outdoors footage. At most, we've had an hour and a half of sunshine followed by torrential downpours, which are not ideal conditions to actually fly and review a drone in. So, it actually looks sunny and nice, and here I am sat inside playing Project Cars 2. Oh dear. Working in Uruguay? Oh, I'm jealous. Could be sleeping. I'm about to sleep. Cop Underwood. Oh well, I really appreciate everyone coming along. I know you're not coming along for me and it's just to see Project Cars 2, but you know, it's nice. I'm sure there's other people playing Project Cars 2, and it's nice that you've chosen a British lunatic that is setting up a force feedback wheel to watch. You know, I appreciate it. Simcade Dennis. It's not Simcade. Right, this is something that needs to stop. Stop! Stop right there. The word Simcade is the dumbest thing that has happened in recent history. It's worse than Kim Jong-un launching missiles every weekend for shits and giggles. People need to just stop saying the word Simcade because it's so dumb. It's so meaningless. It's just stupid. I can't put it into words how stupid the word Simcade is. I mean, really, what people should... If someone doesn't like a game, like for example, I don't particularly like Project Cars 1, bar 2 cars. I don't think it's particularly realistic, and I didn't like the force feedback, and there was other aspects of it I didn't like. Regardless, it doesn't make sense to call it Simcade. It makes sense to call that a bad simulator. I mean, it might still be an enjoyable driving game. People might, you know, it does have a load of really nice features in it. But just saying Simcade is just so stupid. But when it comes to like Project Cars 2, it's clearly not an arcade game. And it's clearly, you know, it's trying to be a simulator. So, and right, you can pick out differences with all the sims. Project Cars 2, AC, R Factor 2, iRacing. You can pick out stuff with them. I'm being triggered now. Triggered Game of Muscle. It needs a coffee. It needs a cup of tea. It needs a biscuit. Yeah, you can pick out differences with all the games where you could go, oh, that's unrealistic. Oh, I'm now going to call it Simcade. So, for example, iRacing, right? The over-the-limit handling in iRacing is atrocious. It's terrible, bar a couple of cars and bar some specific setups. But for the most part, the over-the-limit handling and the force feedback when you go over the limit in iRacing is horrendous. Needlessly difficult, needlessly uncommunicative, right? And so, you know, but you wouldn't then go, oh, iRacing's Simcade, because obviously there's other aspects to iRacing, the online component of the racing, the netcode in general, the detail in a lot of the cars, the laser scan tracks. There's so much stuff in iRacing that's absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, the same thing can be applied to Assetto Corsa, for example. There's aspects to it. Well, for ages it didn't have proper pit stops. There's no ranked multiplayer apart from sim racing system. So there's no weather, there's no day or night. The AI was pretty rubbish for a long part of time. They definitely improved that a ton. But anyway, there was loads of components in the Assetto Corsa where you go, okay, they're not particularly good, or they're lacking, or they're not even there. It doesn't then make the amazing force feedback, again, the high quality tracks and some of the cars that are absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't then make them rubbish or Simcade. It's just bananas. You know, these are the important issues. It's not like there's a genocide going on somewhere and we've just had a tornado that's completely destroyed thousands of people's lives, and that there's massive wealth inequality and tons of problems in the world. Those aren't the important issues. No, the important issues are people saying the word Simcade and it being a totally pointless saying. Right, triggered. Triggered. Okay, I'm calming down now. Hang on. Sip of the coffee. All's calm. Think of some nice alpacas in a field. There we go. Right, I'm pretty happy with the force feedback. I think we could tweak it and get more out of it, but that's reasonably communicative. I would say, the force feedback is not exactly transparent as to what does what, how much does what is going to be a good setting with a direct drive wheel. Maybe if you've got a G29 T300, you just plug it in. Those wheels don't have as much depth and as much detail as direct drive wheels anyway, so there's only so much you can get out of them. So, I'm being rather additionally anal with this and stupidly picky. So, I have to test it with our T300 to see what it's like with that. But from what I've got feedback-wise, supposedly the force feedback's pretty good with those wheels, and I wouldn't doubt it because it's not terrible with a direct drive wheel. Oh dear, I need some calms. Oh dear, sun's out. Should be happy. Right. What's going on in chat? Give her another word to replace Simcade. I don't know. Maybe there's like a good. Where did you say you're in Belgium? I can't remember. You're from Belgium, aren't you? I always get Belgium and Holland mixed up. Need like a Belgium word for. No, okay, a good word for Simcade is bad simulator. It's either it's a good arcade game, a simulator, or a bad simulator, or a simulator that doesn't have the features that you particularly want or a person particularly wants. I think that's a fairly good way of putting it. I don't think maybe there isn't a single word. Are you from the French-speaking part of Belgium or the Flemish part of Belgium? Because the French part, they count absolutely crazy. Crazy French. I've never been to the Flemish part, so I don't know about that. Dreaming Indeed Rush. Console Racer. We've gone colour, Mr. 78 Splinter. Right, we're going to go through the single player because this stream has probably put people to sleep. Dignitas are going to start using my streams for people that are wanting to hasten their end of life. They just sit in a room with my stream on a screen and then they just drift off and all their pains have gone. Oops, we've lost the chat here, sorry. Raw profile is the best profile for direct drive wheels. Yes, I think so. It's true. I don't think you've got many haters, Sim Racing Girl. I don't think I have that many haters. And I know Empty Box has a lot of haters, but a lot of people like him as well. I've got a couple of haters, I guess, but it's mostly just people going, "Oh, you can't drive," or the usual, or just people that are angry. But to be, it's not really a hater, is it? Okay, well, I think we're set up here. With completely new profiles. This is complete from scratch, so there we go. The thing is, saying Simcade, okay, we need to set this difficulty, right? It's on 60 by default and 100% aggression by default. Actually, that might not be the case. That might be from our previous stuff. We'll put it on 70 and 100. We'll try that. Don't need practice. 15-minute qualifying, 12-minute race. Okay. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so... yeah, for something like Forza, you just say, well, it's an arcade game, or it's just not a particularly realistic simulator. I don't think it's even trying to be a simulator. I mean, maybe they market it as being a simulator because they know they'll get sales if they say it's realistic. So, yeah. What was your question, Eduardo Hernandez? I'll try and answer it. I probably didn't answer your question because I either didn't read it, didn't understand it, or chose to ignore it. But I don't think I actually saw your question, so feel free to ask it again. What part? I'm in Kent at the moment. I'm probably going to be stuck in Kent for some time. Once you get into Kent, there's no escape. Hang on, people asking too many questions. How are you testing? I'm testing it because I've got a review copy because the Pac-Man gave me a copy. Ian Bell is live and drunk as hell. First car you'll drive in the Ferrari DLC? I don't know. I just pick whatever comes up at the top of the list, to be honest. I don't really go into cars with preconceptions with Sims. It's just, you know, it is what it is. You often find with simulated cars, it's not the ones you expect to be good that are actually quite good. For example, in Assetto Corsa, nobody gives what's it called? The Lotus 211 and the Lotus 311. No one ever talks about them. Kunos practically ignore them as cars as well. No one likes them, but they're bloody amazing cars in Assetto Corsa. So, you know, go and drive them if you've got Assetto Corsa. They're really good fun cars. Right. Let's get on the track. We do quali here. We're just going to go with the default set. Whoa, we got... When we first come out, we get this oscillation. That's something we need to fix. But once you're moving, it's actually okay. Let's change view here to put the camera on the bonnet a bit more. Oh, the Lotus 49 is a fantastic car. That'll be good. See, I don't know why Project Cars 2 doesn't have a default bonnet cam that's like this, a hood cam, because that to me is what you really want for console games and for if you're just playing on a single screen. Look at the lighting, absolutely extraordinary. Oh yeah, I might be doing something with Sean Cole on Saturday. It'll be Saturday morning. I need to email him back actually. He emailed me last night at like 2 in the morning. No, actually it was more like 10 PM. But might be doing a thing talking about VR with him. I have to work it out. But yeah, Sean Cole's awesome. I really like him. Hi guys. I love his accent. I love his little bald head. It's a precursor to my head having no hair. So, you know, I appreciate anyone with no hair. But Sean Cole's, he's a nice guy. Seems really friendly. He's just really down to earth actually and relaxed, chilled out. Which I always like. I don't know where the corner is. I forgot this track. Right, there we go. Graphics is way worse than P-Cars 1. They updated line, but the cars are shit with details now. I don't know. They look alright to me, especially in VR. The stream might not look too amazing because I'm not running any AA and don't have all the graphics on full because my computer isn't exactly a supercomputer. I'd like to hear Sim Racing Girl do a Sean Cole accent, or even attempt a British accent at some point. I'd certainly appreciate that next time you're streaming. That's donation worthy. Oh, I love this track. Okay, I'm getting quite good force feedback feel for the mid-corner loading now, actually. Still on the brakes, not amazing, but, you know, you can't have everything. This feels really British. Got clouds, there's no sunshine. Patches of blue, but, you know, that's just an illusion. Yeah, oh, you didn't answer. Are you from the Dutch, the Flemish, or the French part? I couldn't tell from your English accent. If I catch it, probably won't. You should chat to the Sector 3 producer. He's in Belgium at the moment. get your tic-tac drive on. Ah, the Flemish part. There we go. See, that's why I don't recognise the accent at all. Driving this awful. Sorry guys. Sony Curtis just set a new fastest lap. I love the track details here. Look on the inside of the curbing and look at the grass. The most important part of all. driving games is the grass. Oh dear, I was reading the chat room. Hang on, how long have we got? We haven't got long to get a lap in here. The force feedback and the handling is miles better in Project Cars 2 compared to Project Cars 1. It's night and day from what I remember. Alton Park's a fantastic track, you know. So yeah, look, people go on about, you know, shadows, the shaders, and in Project Cars 2, you know, the rain and stuff. But let's face it, the most important part of all driving simulators is the grass and the hedges, and it's something that I don't think developers pay enough attention to, really. But Project Cars 2, they've done a good job on the grass. And you know, I mean, the other classic game that has really done a good job on the grass and the hedges is Richard Burns Rally, and that's the only reason people play it, to be honest. Oh no, this is such a bloody tricky part of the circuit. Oh, look at those bumps. Right, it was not a successful lap. I think we're running out of time here. We need to get a lap in so we're not last. What's it say for our? We're 12th at the moment. Fortunately, we didn't set the AI on too high. This track's so narrow, I can't read the bloody chat whilst driving, so... Oh, calm down. AI thinks it's in a race. Well, that's it. To be honest, Eduardo Hernandez, why can't you have a shorter name? Everyone should just be called... 1, 2, 3 letter names. That'd be nice and easy. Yeah, the point is, I wouldn't be surprised if when they started Project Cars 2 development, they actually just started with the lawn, and they were like, okay, we've now got the grass nailed. What can we do to really push it to the next level? And then they thought, you know, we've got grass, but we don't have any hedges. So they had all these fields with grass and hedges, and then they started building the tracks and the cars and the physics, but that all comes, you know, all comes after the grass and the hedges. Oh, come on! I'm probably missing chat room here because this, honestly, I know this is a Trundlemobile. I know this isn't the fastest of vehicles, but I can't even see the brake points, and I'm struggling. But you know, the handling of this car, and this is why I'm saying the slower cars in Project Cars 2, they have that nice movement and ply, and they actually are not, you know, they're not that loose. They're reasonably grippy as well. They have a character to me that's really quite convincing. I haven't found that with the faster cars, but mind you, I haven't used these force feedback settings with the faster cars, so we'll have to try them out. every 10 minutes or so, there's the question: how does the handling compare to AC? It's different. It's its own thing. I'd say it's a little bit looser than Assetto Corsa. It has a bit more controllable slip compared to Assetto Corsa once the back comes out, but the initial bite is less than Assetto Corsa. Look at this car, it looks superb. I actually really like the shape of these vehicles. They have quite a nice defined bumper on them. Let's use the AI to brake. We're still in 12th place. Whoops. Oversteer there. That is a good point. Tree's not rustling. Can I have a refund, please? To be honest, we need to... That's a IGN point docked from the game. No rustling leaves. It's not rustling my jimmies. To be honest, you can't see the trees when it's in thunderstorm weather because it's too foggy. So, and let's face it, if you had rustling tree leaves, they wouldn't be able to get the game to run on console. So it's probably a sacrifice they had to make. Whoa, bit much over there. Push him out. Oh, come on. Last time I drove this track was in R Factor 2 with the McGann Trophy car, and that's pretty good actually. McGann Trophy car is crazy because it's super grippy. It's sort of one of those fake cars where it's got bodywork strapped over the top of a supercar effectively. So it looks like a McGann car, but it's not. They've got like a silhouette series, I guess. I'm not sure. I think that's what they call it. It's like those Australian race series where they've got like a road car body over the top of what is effectively an absolute beast. Okay, after this lap I'll check the chat room. Oh, Jimmy! Jimmy Broadbent's donated £2. Oh, that's his chicken feed. His chickens are starving tonight. Jimmy's chickens are going out without food. We'll punt some people off, don't worry. I mean, if you don't feed your chickens, Jimmy, where's your sim gear going to come from? I mean, after they laid that direct drive wheel and the button boxes and the Formula 1 rim, you need to get feeding them. But guys, check out Jimmy's channel. He streams sim racing. If you're not familiar with Jimmy Broadbent and you like crazy British guys that basically just drive into people and have a robotic-like stamina when it comes to playing driving games, check out his YouTube channel, Jimmy Broadbent, and subscribe to him. Everyone that subscribes to Jimmy will be put into the lucky dip where at the end of the year Jimmy does this chicken festival where he donates salmonella infested chicken eggs to a lucky subscriber. So definitely subscribe to his channel for that. And you know, whilst we're giving out shouts, subscribe to Sim Racing Girl's YouTube channel. She doesn't stream, but she should do. But she's got some nice videos of the Sim Racing Expo, and she's got a good interview with I've forgotten his name, Marco from Kunos, just recently uploaded, and she's also got a interview with Thomas from Fanatec talking about the direct drive wheel. So Sim Racing Girl, Jimmy Broadbent, get on the subscription button on those channels, guys, especially if you're a console peasant. Get on it. Whoa! Oh, we've run out of fuel. There you go. And on that note, we're in first place. See, shouting out makes you faster. Ah, jeez, it's a bit of a bump. I need a cup of tea. Thank you, dear James. It's like you just written a letter to me in Victorian times. Thank you, dear James, for one shout out. I will see you at the pavilion at 4:30 p.m. where we can share a cigar together. Don't know if women were allowed to smoke cigars in Victorian times. How much time we got left? 48 seconds. Return back to pit box. We'll see if anyone catches up with us. So that is too easy of a setting. There's a point, well, a tenth of a second gap between us and second place. So maybe I don't know if the AI is sort of not sandbag, but you know, try to match with us, or we need to put the difficulty on a harder setting. Because I don't want to be doing a race just driving at the front. Oh, no, we're going to crash, so we'll be playing catch-up, doesn't matter. What's going on in the chat room? I don't know what's going on in the chat room. Curious watching, you broke it. We just ran out of fuel, that's alright. My box now smells of thermal compound remover. That's not something you want to turn up to the doctors and say. Oh my god, guys, you're right. Your messages are too long. I see like a flash of 300-word essays coming up. sorry all console haters, but I don't have time to spend installing and making game working PC. That's why I asked for a good sim racing console. Yes, I agree with that, you know, and this is one of the reasons why I hate modern consoles, because you have to fiddle with them still. But that said, I honestly think Project Cars 2 on console is going to be it is the best. Actually, I've not played the console version, so I'm making an assumption here based off the PC version. But assuming the console version is like the PC version of Project Cars 2, I think it probably is the most realistic sim on console, most fully featured sim on console. It's basically you've got Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa, so you know you've got both of them on console. That's it really. And then obviously you've got Forza for more of a sort of Top Gear experience. How does it feel compared to AC? We've been through that. Yeah, you're gonna have to click the rewind button. I'm gonna need to pop to the loo before we set off on this race, and then we'll be back and we'll do the race. So I'll see you guys in like 2 minutes. Thanks for coming along, everyone. I'm not going to stop the stream, but I would recommend clicking the subscribe button whilst we're evacuating our bowels. Commercial break. Today, this commercial break is sponsored by Jimmy Broadbent and Sim Racing Girl. Jimmy Broadbent, the channel you go to see a guy play games all night. He drives really fast and he can drive slow, but then he crashes and he says, "Oh no!" And then you've got the Sim Racing Girl channel that is, I can't think of a song for that, but go there for a second whilst we take a toilet break. See you guys in a minute. Okay, guys, I lied. We're also making a cup of coffee whilst we take this little interlude. I hope you guys are having fun in chat. Kunos never respond to you. What for? Kunos are secretive. It's because they're too busy, too busy enjoying fine, high-quality pizza and fine Italian wines, you know, on their yachts. Okay, more precise comparison between, whilst we're making a cup of tea, the comparison between Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa. Okay, the biggest differences, let's go through them one by one. I should do a separate video on this. I don't know why I'm saying this here. This should be a separate video. Maybe we can cut this up and put it as a separate video. That'd be really lazy. And the kind of thing we'd probably do. So, the biggest differences. Okay, force feedback. I think Assetto Corsa gives more front-end feel with most of its cars, and its force feedback is tighter, more concise, and more detailed than Project Cars 2. That said, aspects of the general nature of the force feedback, especially load through corners, is quite similar. The self-aligning force feedback, which is pretty good in most simulators, to be honest, is pretty much the same. You know, the cars correct themselves as you'd expect. They come out of slides as you'd expect. One nice thing with the force feedback in Project Cars 2 that I think is different in Assetto Corsa, that maybe is more realistic in Project Cars 2. I've never driven a real sports car, so I don't know for sure. But one thing that does happen in Project Cars 2 that's quite nice is sometimes when you're over the slip and say you're in a slide and you've got the car, you know, it's over the limit because you're drifting, the force feedback can sort of hold itself in position in some ways. It doesn't try and self-align as sort of definitively as Assetto Corsa does. So maybe that's more realistic. I think, from what I understand, that is a more realistic character. But to be honest, in Assetto Corsa, if you're doing the drifting, it's not like it's not like there's a problem there. And in both cases, I think the force feedback is kind of abstract either way, because it depends how you set it up. So in general, I think the force feedback is better in Assetto Corsa because of the front end feel is more clear and the track feel is more clear. And I don't know how much of it comes from the laser scan tracks in Assetto Corsa. Project Cars 2 has laser scan tracks, but I don't think they're as detailed in terms of the raw road surface as Assetto Corsa. But then Project Cars 2 has the different weather and the off-road racing, and you know, it all works really consistently across the board. And the force feedback seems fairly consistent from car to car in Project Cars 2 as well. So force feedback, I prefer in AC. I don't think Project Cars 2 is that bad. I don't think it's the best, but it's not really problematic. There you go. Maybe that's force feedback. Handling, I find Assetto Corsa is tighter and more nuanced in subtlety in terms of the actual handling of the vehicle and how precise they are. Project Cars 2 feels a little bit more vague. The cars feel a little bit more slidey in some ways, a little bit less sort of bitten on the track. The front ends, again, seem to not bite in the same way as they do in Assetto Corsa. But the over-the-limit character of the cars seems pretty much the same between two of them. I think you have a little bit more control over slip, like the drifting and stuff might in some ways be better in Project Cars 2 in certain ways not. It depends on the car. I generally prefer the handling in Assetto Corsa, but again, Assetto Corsa is in like pristine conditions, so you know you're playing AC in those pristine conditions. When Project Cars 2, you're playing in you know, differing conditions. So it's hard to like draw a direct comparison because you can't compare something that doesn't exist in another sim. But there you go. How's the dirt compared to RBR? It's different. I'll have to do separate videos on this because it's so hard to just be concise off the top of my head. I'm not clever enough for that. I'm going to just pour my tea out. The kettle's just boiled, and then we will do driving. Sorry. Okay guys, we've got a critical situation here. Forget Project Cars 2. Forget everything. Critical situation. Forget everything. Shut down your computers. We're running out of milk. I might have to get some milk so we can have cups of tea. But we'll keep going. We'll soldier on through this disaster. Let's get back on the track. Crowdfund lifetime supply of tea. I wouldn't complain. Twinings should do a sponsorship deal with me. I'm always telling people about Twinings. Oh, look at this camera shot. Round 1 of 5. Alton Park Fosters in the what's it called? The Ginetta something or other. It's the Junior Ginetta. Jimmy's going to have to milk his chickens. Pit strategy. There's no pit stop because the race is too short. So...
Okay, it's your first career race. Let's get it off to a good start.
Here we go, first career race. Bloody hell, the force feedback's got really strong again. So we're rolling down the hill. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, I know what it'll be. It'll be the driving simulators have separate force feedback for when you're parked, and it'll be over the top in this. So I just need to edit the force feedback file. Nothing like, yeah. I wonder what chicken milk actually tastes like. Can't be worse than goat's milk. Probably don't get much out of a single chicken though. I don't actually. Chickens don't lactate, do they? Chickens don't produce milk because they're not. You know, they don't have breasts. Or they have chicken breasts, but they don't have nipples. I don't think chickens lactate because obviously they lay eggs and they feed the chicks like worms and things. They don't, you know. I've just made myself look like an idiot there, but it's alright. Oh, he's made a move! Hang on a minute. Oh, it's a nice car. I should just take him out. We've got to watch out here. It looks like we will actually be battling. Full position. What's going on in chat? Sorry if I missed your chat messages. I keep saying sorry. I need to stop apologising, but I'm concentrating. Not mammals. Yes. We'll pretend. Oh! We'll pretend that I didn't say what I said. I never did, but I did GCSE biology and I actually got a good grade in that. They didn't cover chickens in particular though. Stop thinking about poultry. I can't help it. I'd like some piri-piri chicken actually, that'd be quite nice. There's a car at the inside. I need to bind the view buttons. Oh no, my monitor's gone off again. Why is it doing that? Okay guys, I'm going to have to pause. Oh, let's hope it doesn't pull the steering wheel out. Why is my monitor coming out? Oh, no. I hope it hasn't broken it. I need to buy a new monitor. Oh dear. Just get this back on the screen. Biscuits and gravy. That's an American thing. We don't do biscuits and gravy over here. We have biscuits and tea. Now my wheel's alright, still in. I've not fiddled with the back of my computer. Right, let's have a sip of the coffee and we'll resume the race. This happens mid-race, you know. You'd be driving your Ginetta. All of a sudden, your monitor turns off and you have to pause the race. And then move all your windows back across because they've gone to the other screen. There we go, we're good. Oh, it's only 3 o'clock. I thought it was later. Fantastic. Every turn, try to turn it on and off again. Let's continue. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. We're off. Oh yeah! All of a sudden, your helmet goes black. Yeah, this car feels really nice. I think the slower cars, I mean, this is pretty spot on Oh, I'm driving with the flappy paddles here. We're going to have to sync things back up again. This is pretty spot on with my expectation as to what I'd imagine this car to be. Whoa, he's trying to get past us. Go away. I think we just took him out. I think this is what it'd be like in reality, this car. I mean, obviously, in a game it's devoid of G-forces, but, you know, its actual character seems really good.
Great second sector. That's the
Oh.
best time so far. Nice work.
Shut up, Bob. I need to mute him. Oh, see you, sim racing girl. Have fun. Get your stream sorted out.
New personal best. Good job. Keep pushing.
And if you've got Project Cars 2, you should jump in it so we can get a game going. Same with Jimmy if he's still here, because there's no way for me to actually test the multiplayer unless we can actually get a bunch of people that have got press access to actually, you know, drive. Is that hard to control? This isn't. No, this is a nice progressive car. Your arms seem very extended. It's just the field of view on the camera, I think. Then they're not extended. That's pretty much the same as it is in game. It doesn't feel like a sim. Oh, bloody simcade! No, it doesn't feel like a simcade game. No, it feels realistic, in my opinion. With the slower cars,
we could do with a bigger gap second place.
The faster cars are a bit vague.
Bring out some good laps and build that gap.
But I need to fiddle with the. Well, we need to try these force feedback settings with the faster cars and see what it's like. Because at the start of this stream, I did a good sort of hour and a half of torturing people with force feedback settings. Haha, that was nice. I mean, these corners are bloody frustrating. Whoops, definitely a second gear corner. Oh no! No! This. Oh, calm down. Yeah, that part of the track's difficult and frustrating, but it's really fun when you actually hook it up and you get the car to bite in. Yeah, Jimmy, you playing this tonight? Jimmy! I think Jimmy Broadbent should actually be Scottish. Then it would match with the name. The spotter is definitely Simcade. Mind you, spotters are in everything now. It's like everyone... Since iRacing made the spotter popular. Oh, Chronic Understeer. So yeah, since iRacing made spotters popular, they seem to be in everything. Even with your knees. Yeah, cameras do weird things. Oh, let's put our headlights on. It's getting a bit dark there. Can't, actually, well, that's had no effect to turn the brightness up. I mean, I definitely don't have the wheel in the optimal position, but it's not that far off like a GT position. Because that's a nice thing with this...
5 minutes to go.
Oh no! Yeah, the K2 cockpit which I'm driving in, the nice thing with it is that it gets you in a very, you know, sort of GT... It's one-to-one with a GT car position. Go on cinematic.com and you can see they've got the sim rig lined up with a real world car, and you can see that the steering wheel and everything, it's one-to-one. That's they've designed the rig to literally be exactly the same position as the real world counterpart. Oh, I'm reading the chat room. Maybe you need more chicken milk.
Great final sector. Your best so far.
That's going to haunt me now, the chicken milk story.
4 minutes to go.
So we're getting faster, probably because we're running out of fuel. We've got 10.5 litres, we're good. Oh, that was nice. Let's try not to bouncy castle ourselves. Conservatism is the new counterculture. I don't know what's going on. This is the build that's the recent build. This isn't the press build. This is the the Steam. This is what's coming out. I'm sure there'll be patches every week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another patch before the game launches, or
Think about defending from that guy behind.
Generally, you know, developers continue to patch bits and bobs once the game's already come out. What's going on in the chat room? Any F1 cars? They've got like their versions of Formula 1 cars. Whoa! They don't have a fully licensed F1 car because obviously, well, Kunos have managed to get one, but yeah, it's normally just. I guess Kunos have got it from Ferrari as a separate thing. And it's just one-off cars, and there's other stuff associated with that. But yeah, Codemasters have sort of they've locked away the Formula 1 license. So I think
2 minutes to go.
It's the IndyCars in this that are out of the Formula vehicles seem to be the most polished. But I've not spent that much time with the Formula cars, so. Does the game get lag sometimes? I've noticed while streaming, sometimes I can get some stutter, like frame lags can occur. When I've been playing not streaming, it seems to run perfectly fine. I think it's to do with CPU loading. If your computer's under maximum load, then sometimes it can sort of catch itself out. But there's no reason I mean, it's not a problem I've noticed when I'm not streaming. Streaming puts a lot of load on your computer, so I've noticed it happen in VR occasionally as well. Actually, again, because I'm hammering my computer.
1 minute.
Oh, hang on, I'm going into first there, and it's staying in second. I need to figure out what's going on with the gears here. I can say what I want. Second to last, Jedi. There's no reason, you know, not to say what I want. I mean, it doesn't help you, you know. If you will notice, I think most YouTubers will be overly positive about things because you know, if I was to totally shit talk Project Cars 2, obviously the Pac-Man would be like, well, we're not giving you a review copy of Project Cars 3 or, you know, whatever. So anyone and that's the same with all publishers and developers. I mean, it's business, isn't it? If someone gives you their product and you were to just say completely negative things about it, then obviously they're not going to want to continue a business relationship with you. But having said that, I've not held back. If you've been watching this stream, oh Jesus Christ! If you've been watching my streams, I've said plenty of positive and negative things about the game. And actually, I have to say, the Pac-Man, Bandai Namco, with the press build, I mean, I put videos out saying negatives and stuff that would potentially annoy other publishers, and they seem pretty chilled out, you know. Normally what you'll find is if you've got a pre-release copy of a game, they would be very specific in like, oh, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, oh, don't show this, don't show that, or some companies will even be like, oh, you need to send us your video before you upload it so we can vet it. But they haven't done anything like that. They don't seem to care. They seem actually pretty chilled out, I have to say. as far as publishers go. So yeah, so what I would say is you probably find most media outlets and most YouTubers generally erring on the side of positivity, but I don't think I've been overly fakely positive with Project Cars 2. I think I've been pretty fair and balanced, like Fox News. I don't know, maybe I haven't. Maybe I need to say more negative things, but I need to get a chalkboard and write all the negatives. Oh, we came first, guys. Congratulations to me. I'm now a professional race driver. Sign me up, Janetta. But yeah, and also I think you notice with SMS is that they clearly are happy with Project Cars 2. If you talk to any of the people that work at Slightly Mad Studios, they're proud of the work they've done. There's nothing wrong with that, and they're aware of the shortcomings. Like they admit that there's aspects of Project Cars 2 that aren't perfect. I mean, the AI in particular, I think, could definitely do with a bit of work, and I think they know that. It's not a surprise. There'll be other bits and bobs and things that they'll want to improve. They're not really hidden away from that. Fake news. So let's continue. I'm the best. I need to turn the difficulty up. Now, this is one thing I don't like with Project Cars 2. Seeing as I'm being positive, let's be negative. You can change the difficulty all the time whilst you're playing through it. And what that means is, if you wanted to just breeze through the single player, you could just set it to like granny mode, and that's it, you completed it, and there's no reward there. So it's hard to know really, to sort of get that sense of like satisfaction from beating something that's difficult, or a set difficulty. You don't really get that with Project Cars 2. So that I find that annoying with the single player. I'd much rather have a defined single player, and then you try and beat it if you can, and if you can't, you need to get better. 100%. We'll keep this on. Let's try some 80. I'm worried that 80 is too bad, too good. But we'll do 80 in this next race. See what happens. How's everyone in chat doing there? You guys you having fun? You're just sat there, avoiding work, watching a strange British guy play a driving game. Perfectly normal way to spend your time. I don't think there are any rewards for playing the highest settings. Not that I've noticed, unless I'm just stupid and I've missed them, which is entirely possible. Can you do Monaco historic open wheelers? Probably could do. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a total disaster. Round 2, what did we set the AI to? 80% this time, and it's on 100 aggression. Let's give that a go. I don't own a car. I just use public transport. I literally live right next to a train station, so there's no need for a car. And to be honest, as I've said before, if I was, I don't have much money. I'm not exactly rolling in cash, so if I had money, I would get a Caterham and I'd put up with a really uncomfortable drive just for the driving pleasure. But given that I don't, if I was going to get a car, I would literally just get a Skoda Citigo. Even if I had a moderate amount of money, I would get a Skoda Citigo. Honestly, I see road cars as a wagon to move a person around. That's what a road car is to me in my mind. And then outside of that, my sort of passion for cars would be for like track day cars, like a Caterham. You get road legal Caterham, so it's a good in between car. But crazy cars that cost far too much money, and that you just wouldn't want to drive them on a road. Because they're too uncomfortable. And even a Caterham in the UK would be a disaster. You just get water all over your face. Sitting in a rig playing with the wheel for £7,000. I haven't bought this equipment. This is all review equipment. This is one of the downsides of being someone that does a lot of sim racing. You don't particularly end up rich if that's the path you go for, but you know, you do get nice equipment to review, so you have to take the good with the bad. Wolf Beast Studio, can I have a shout out? Sure. Shout out to Wolf Beast Studio. What? Why do you want to? That's so stupid. Like, why would you come in and chat and be like, "Oh, can I have a shout out, please"? What for? I don't know who you are. You could be like a taxidermist or something, for all I know. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know, I you know, it's just bizarre. Okay, less distractions, more driving. What are we going to change here? Oh, it's raining. This is proper British, fantastic. And so we're just going to look at the graphics settings I've got on the moment. I can't remember what I set it to. Oh, I've had the field of view on stupidly high. Oh dear, I'm such an idiot. For a single screen, you really don't want it that high. I mean, I've moved my camera in, but that's not ideal. I've got the movement basically set off, so that's good. Oh, here we go. So at the moment, in terms of graphic details, I'm running things on high, ultra, player only, shadows on high, enhanced mirror. I've just got AA. Oh, it's MSA is on medium. Thought I had it on off. That's weird, the AA doesn't seem to work as well in 2D as it does in VR. When you put the MSAA on medium in VR, it looks really anti-aliased. Will you put on an FPS meter? I don't know if the game's got an in-game one. Don't worry, 1WSX10, I was zoom out a bit as well. How is the force feedback in comparison with Project Cars 1? From what the problem is, I only played Project Cars 1 Lars with a G25 and a T300. I'm now playing with an absolutely incredible, ridiculous, over-the-top direct drive wheel, so it makes anything feel pretty good, to be honest. But bearing that in mind, in combination with the handling, the force feedback and the actual handling in Project Cars 2 is a lot better than Project Cars 1 in that you can drive the cars over the limit, there's ply to them, you can move them around, they do what you expect. It's satisfying to actually handle them on a basic level, and the force feedback, other than front end braking grip, although I'm starting to get there with that, but the force feedback for the most part communicates what's going on and how to respond to it. So a lot better than Project Cars 1 in my opinion, from what I remember. We're running out of qualifying time here because I'm too busy messing around. Tuning setup. We just got defaults here, and actually one thing you'll notice, the default setups are actually pretty good. You can just go to a race, it will do something with the car, set up reasonably nice, and it just works. Project Cars 1, you had to piss around with settings each race, every car, and it was a total ball ache. They've really improved that. It's a lot more accessible. Let's just drive. Why not? It'll put wet tyres on.
Go, go, go.
Prematurely excitement from the pit crew guy there. Oh, look at the rain on the floor. Right, I'm going to zoom the camera out a bit. That's alright, Lars Rysted. Glad to have been off service. I may have just put the field of view a bit too low. Look at the rain. Okay, here we go. I mean, the rain is fantastic. Just listen to it as well. I mean, I could fall asleep to this. This is what you need. You know, if you've got insomnia and you just need to just fall asleep to a nice ambient noise, race cars, some raindrops. Absolutely fantastic. But get ready for the hype. Can I have a countdown in chat, please? Countdown in chat. Start with 5, guys. We're going to go for a social countdown. Please begin with a 5, everybody. 5. Get ready for the excitement. We need a countdown in chat, otherwise this won't quite have the same effect. Can we have a 5 in chat, please? If you guys don't take part, well, I'm afraid the stream will have to end. We need a 5. It's probably a really big delay. There we go. 5. Okay. 4. Come on, guys. 4. Everyone, we all do a 4. We can do this. We can all hit 4. Okay. Oh dear, this is like my head when I'm trying to work out a simple multiplication at the bank. this is like an insight into the dyslexic mind, what's going on in chat right now. Oh! Okay, we've gone straight to 1. Here we go. Get ready for the hype. Oh my god, we've got windscreen wipers. That might have been a bit anticlimactic, but I don't think it was too anticlimactic. We've missed half of qualifying through that. Okay, enough of that business. Look at the windscreen wipers leaving a little trail on the screen. That looks quite cool. And you've got the raindrops falling down. I think as we go faster, the raindrops will start rising up the screen. We've got this track is totally waterlogged. Where are we actually? I wasn't paying attention. Oh dear. Yep. Not much grip. Cold tyres, wet track, not good. I don't know what track we're at. Ah! I've absolutely frying my head in driving with a low field of view after driving with a high field of view. Still doing the countdown. Oh, I do have 2 settings. Look at that, turbo. The countdown's still going. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, this is Livingston Autosports. What? This is that track where that guy had that crazy crash where he took out the photographer. Yeah, we're somewhat stuck for grip here. Yeah, I might have to increase the field of view a little bit because this is a bit bouncy. Woo! You'll notice when you drive with a lower field of view, it makes the car feel a lot more snappy because you can see the road movement a lot more clearly and the suspension movement. Yeah, I'm going to turn the field of view up again a bit because it's a bit too bumpy for me. It's easier to drive fast at lower field of views, but it can be a little bit uncomfortable if you've got used to a higher field of view. Nice, you can just change it quickly on the fly. Let's go for 70. It's normally a bit high, but zoom the camera in. That'll do. We will drive the GT3 cars later, yeah. I don't know when Kunos DLC comes out, and as I say, I've got to pop to the shop to get some milk because we've run out of milk. And to be honest, a fridge without milk in it, you know, we can't make any tea. That's the end of the world. Does the track, sandpit grass, feel like mud in the rain? It does. Actually, the off-road feedback and nature of the handling is actually really nicely done in project cars. Look at the rain coming off the vehicles. That looks fantastic. This is Thruxton. Okay. chicken egg old 800 still doing counting. I'm not sure. I'd have to Google the cars. Whoever asked about the touring cars there. We need to get a qualifying time in here. The rains are spraying off his vehicle. This probably is running really bad for you guys on the stream because particles aren't particularly good for streaming. This is not Knockhill. I can't see anything here. It does actually look wet. I think one of the things that the project cars does do really well actually is that the wet weather looks wet. It really does feel like I've just put my face in a swimming pool. Oh, take down. I know. I need to turn the damage on, actually. I don't have that on. When will you be doing some VR? Soon. As I said, unfortunately, I'm not feeling too well at the moment. So, I'm a bit reluctant to use VR. So, I don't know when I'll be using it. Hopefully I'm feeling better by sort of tomorrow, the day after. It's just having something warm on your face when you're not feeling too good isn't ideal. But we will be doing it. I mean, I do prefer driving in VR by far, and I find with Project Cars actually it makes driving a lot easier. Same with all driving sims. Oh, this is not kill. So I don't know. Too much rain to tell where I am. I do, you know, a really nice thing with Project Cars 2, I have to say, and this was also the case with Project Cars 1, the track selection is great. They've got some really good British tracks in the game that you just don't have in other sims, other than mod versions. Ah! You can tell by the rain. Yeah, you can tell it's in the UK by the lack of blue in the sky. Although, as you can see from the webcam, it is actually sunny right now. Where are we? 12th. Let's try and get a good lap in here. Slide the car in there. Ah, that corner's a beast. When you're driving in the wet, you have to know the track, like, preemptively know it. What was that? It had like a metal scraping sound. Because if you don't know the track in the dry, because you have to guess at times where the corner is in the wet, because you can't see anything. I've got the forcing back a lot better, yeah. I still haven't got ideal front end feel. And when I'm parked, I'm getting some weird oscillations. Ah! But it's not terrible. It's pretty communicative. I'm not having struggles with the car going crazy. But this is with the slower cars. I need to try the faster cars to know for sure. I'm really happy with the slower cars in this game. I really like how they handle. They do feel quite convincing to me, to what I'd expect the real world counterparts to be like. Ah! Oh no! It's sucked off the road there. Ah! It's so hard to get the bite in the wet, obviously. Those of you watching that are new to the channel, definitely consider clicking that subscribe button if you like. If you don't like the channel or you hate my voice, don't bother. But if you like, whoa, aquaplaning, hit a puddle there. If you like driving simulators, you like virtual reality, you like flight simulators, and you like a crazy British voice talking over the top of videos, starting arguments, then subscribe and check our videos. Also check out the rest of the videos on the channel. We normally do a video every day, give or take, and yes, we've just qualified in 12th. I know, there's a finish line. Nope. That's better. That seems to be a better difficulty because I was driving awful there, but I wasn't last, I wasn't first. That's quite good. Yeah, so definitely click the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all the stuff we're doing. And I'm just going to sip in my coffee. The puddle physics is actually pretty good, you know, worst player. They remind me a bit of Netcar Pro's puddles, actually, in that they sort of destabilise the car, but not in a ridiculous way. Dissenter 1976. I'm off to play Divinity Original Sin 2 until this game comes out. Thanks for the stream, Gamer Muscle. No, I'm Gamer Muscle. See what I did there? Well, thanks for coming along, Mr. Dissenter. Look forward to seeing you in the future. Well, not really seeing you, but hearing from you in the chat room. Nothing wrong with your voice. Carry on, old chap. I say. I think it's time for me to subscribe. It is, otherwise you could bloody get out. What are you doing here? Continue racing. After the race session is the weather. Listen to that. Authentic. This noise. This is literally... You might think that's tinnitus. But that's actually what it sounds like in the UK all the time. It's like someone's cooking bacon in your ear 24/7. Yeah, I haven't played Forza Motorsport 6 on console. I played Forza Motorsport 6 Apex on PC, and the puddles in that are atrocious. You touch them, you're dead. I mean, that will happen in this if you go over a ginormous puddle with all wheels and you're sort of at load with the car, and it's like a Formula car. But if you're driving a normal car and you go over the puddles, you know, you don't completely go crazy and you can actually catch it. So, hello, Matt Joseph Funk. Hello. German weather isn't that better. Yeah, but Germany's Germany. It's a nicer country. You've got the mountains in the south. You're connected to mainland Europe. You've got amazing accents. Amazing food. I'm not completely sold on your hot dogs, but beer, really good. Okay, some of your food is actually a bit weird. Yeah, your sausages are actually a bit weird, I have to say. But your other food's really good, and you're connected to France. You can get a good croissant if you need to. So, you know, or you can pop into Holland, Belgium. You could, yeah, if you live in Germany, you could just march right through Europe. You know, it's a cinch. You could take Europe by storm. Oh dear, that's unfair, but quite funny nonetheless. Yeah, I would happily move to Germany. Germans seem really nice. I like German accent. I like German people. German countryside and Germans just seem nice. So the sense of humour. Sausages and the sense of humour need work. The two downsides of Germany: sausages and sense of humour. Yeah, see, Doug, in Germany you could literally march right into Paris. Yeah. Sausage and sense of humour, that needs work in Germany. Other than that, bloody fantastic country. I need to try some new German sausages though. It's been a while. I'll be doing some VR soon, ICW. As I say, I'm not feeling too good, so that's why we're in 2D. And streaming, I tend to be in 2D, so... You know, they don't speak English with an accent in Germany, they speak German. Yeah, I watch Abergefahren. You should check out his channel, actually. He's obviously German and speaks in German. It just sounds amazing. I used to watch sports. We're just going to go straight in. I used to watch sports channels. You know, whenever I was abroad, and it would always be in Germany, and I used to have Eurosport and stuff in the UK. And... That was in German at times, so just really like how Germans sound, especially when they're doing commentaries and stuff. Look at this lighting, absolutely amazing. Look, got headlights on, and you see all the other cars' headlights, and it's raining. Oh, that AI just took a bit of a shortcut to try and get some places. But this is what's nice with Project Cars 2, is this evening driving and weather and everything else. Look at these skies as well. It's too much to take in. Let's get some more places whilst the AI is slow. I will test the open wheel cars. Yeah, we're going through everything. Hardcore endurance session here. But hallo, guten Tag auf the Germans. Guten Tag. What else did they say? Oh, did they just say Tag? Tag. I need to learn some more German words. I know Winkelmesser, Strumpf. That's Smurfs in German. That's a useful word to know. When you're being hit by a car, you need medical help. Strumpf! Strumpf! That's about it as far as our German language skills go. Winkelmesser, which is protractor. I don't know why I've learnt these really useful words. Oh, we nearly lost the back of the car there. Protractor and smurf. The 2 words that you definitely need when you're in another country. What a mess. Oh, the AI is doing a good pace through it. Oh, damn the brake there. Come on. Oh, we should put the windscreen wipers on. The rain seems to be clearing itself just through the speed of the... Actually, I think it's stopped raining. It's just the spray off it. Oh, no, it's raining a little bit. But it's not completely obscuring the view. That's quite cool, though.
Come on, this guy's just in our way.
Shut up, Bob!
Now, let's fight our way past.
I'm driving as fast as I can, Bob. Schlumpf. I wouldn't call the area around the Nordschleife mountain hills. I really need like a pastry or something right now. Okay, it's raining quite heavily there. I have to say, since messing with the force feedback settings, Project Cars 2 is growing on me a bit now, especially with these cars. Whoa! What's his actual name? Who is it? It's probably it will be someone at Slightly Mad Studios that does his voice, and he's just getting crap from everyone playing the game. This is about yesterday, Ruben. There was absolutely
second sector of anyone today.
Absolutely crazy downpour in the middle of the day. I mean, it wasn't even particularly stormy. I was just sat in my house playing games as you do because I don't have a real life, and all of a sudden it sounded like someone had dumped a swimming pool on the window. Oh, it does sound like Ben Collins, yeah. Well, yeah, it's the Stig. Ben Collins. He's done alright actually, since doing his book and then working with Slightly Mad Studios. Good for him. He's a jammy little bugger actually, Ben Collins. You know, he gets to drive all those cars from doing Top Gear. Just like, and then now he just gets to lardy-dar being a game consultant doing audio on games. He's done pretty good, I have to say. He's done a lot better than a lot of race drivers end up normally doing. I've not had a chance to meet him in real life though. Seems like a nice guy from what I've seen of like interviews and what have you. But his voice is annoying in the game. So I take off 5 points for that. He would have got 10 out of 10. He's now a 5 out of 10 because his voice on the radio is annoying. But that's not really his fault. That's the designers of Slightly Mad Studios. I want to buy the game, but I hear so much crap about it. You're talking about Project Cars 2. What I definitely recommend doing is buy it on Steam through the Steam store, and then if you don't like it, refund it. You've got 2 hours, so find a car that you know you like in other games, and check out some setup videos. I'll have some setup videos, so you know, so it's all good out of the box. Mind you, Project Cars 2 set up pretty decent by default, especially compared to Project Cars 1. And then yeah, you've got like an hour and a half, 2 hours to test it out, see if you like it, see how well it runs on your computer. I mean, the Steam refund system isn't a game rental service, so if you do it a lot, you'll get into trouble. But as a one-off, it's all right. He's still doing the countdown. The settings I've got here, though, Leonard J, were for the direct drive wheel, you see, so it's not really going to apply to consumer wheels. They've already got their settings already done inside of the game by they've got good defaults supposedly, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for people with that. Oh, there we go. Hi, Bumblebee Tuner. Do you know what? You're the only person that's asked that question today. Literally, I'm surprised that so few people have asked that. A lot of people have asked that question, and I just rewound the stream I'm going to need to do a video on that before the game comes out, because that video will have 250,000 views, because it seems to be what everyone's asking. I'm not going to answer it again, unfortunately, for you, Mr. Bumblebee. Sorry, because I've answered it too many times. I will do, because I'm nice. It's not like Assetto Corsa, it's its own thing, but there's aspects that are comparable. If you like AC and you set up Project Cars 2 right, I think in general you probably quite like Project Cars 2. It has controllable slip, the cars aren't ridiculous, they don't have that stupid sim thing where cars have no control over the limit. But I'm sure the crazy hardcore sim racer guys, a lot of them will be hypercritical about certain aspects of it, maybe rightly or wrongly so. And as a result, it's hard to know if people will like it or not, and how much given AC fans will like it compared to other AC fans. But I quite like it. As I said previously, I prefer Assetto Corsa in the dry, in optimal conditions. I prefer AC's force feedback, and I prefer most cars in AC. But
great job, keep it up.
I do also quite like Project Cars 2. And it has features that AC doesn't have, so you know you can't drive AC in the wet. So you kind of, as I always say, you have to use each sim for what you can get out of them. Sorry for those of you that have had to hear that 10 times now. I just need like a tape recording for that answer. How's the wheel centre? Does it stay tight throughout? Yeah, as I say, I'm using a direct drive wheel, so it's pretty snappy regardless.
That's the fastest lap of the race, great lap. You look strong out there, stay focused and keep building the lead.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not like a hardcore sim racer. I mean, I really like driving simulators. I like realistic driving sims. I mean, I guess actually I am pretty much a hardcore sim racer, but I'm not, you know, I don't do 2 hour, 3 hour endurance races, or I don't...
3 minutes remaining.
It's hard to actually put it into words, right? The thing is, driving simulators aren't like reality because they're fundamentally abstract by default. I mean, aspects of driving simulators are actually surprisingly realistic, and it's amazing what the developers have done with driving simulators. But at the end of the day, what I tend to look for in a driving simulator is, does the general character of the vehicle seem to be as you expect a car to be? I'm not that critical of certain specific details. I'm more concerned about the end drive being what I think is kind of realistic, and I guess different people have a different expectation as to what the end drive of the car should be like. But as long as basically those basic aspects of the car's drive come across as realistic to me and the force feedback's nice, I'm really happy, to be honest. You know, maybe I'm too easily pleased. Yeah, okay, Cunningham Industries, and yeah. The point I was making is just, you know, races that are longer than sort of 35 minutes. I tend to... The racing I do in simulators is sprint racing, normally under 25 laps. So there's a whole different aspect to sim racing once you start getting into doing 25 plus lap races with multiple pit stops and all the other stuff that goes into it, because then you have to take into consideration more subtle aspects of the tyre wear, subtle aspects of the damage model, subtle aspects of the damage to the actual vehicle as a whole. Then there's so many more considerations, but because I don't do that type of racing, it's not that important to me. Whoa, shortcut! Oh, I did. Double shortcut. That's the new racing line. We didn't even get... Oh, slow down.
1 minute to go.
How much we need to slow down by? Oh, we're alright. We just took a Need for Speed shortcut there. What's the control console on your right? This thing here, that's the Derek Spears design button box. It's basically just a bunch of buttons in a box. If you go to DerekSpearsDesigns.com, you can see them. But yeah, it is literally just a USB box that has a ton of buttons on it that you can then bind to. If you play driving simulators, it's quite handy to have. And then below that, I'm using the SHH shifter. That it's like a 3D printed shifter that I use for shifting.
Just one more lap now, mate. Keep on it all the way to the line. We can win
last
this.
lap. Ben Collins. Shut up, Ben. I feel sorry for him. He's going to get so much stick from gamers. What's the drifting like? I haven't done that much drifting in this recent build, to be honest. But from the press build, it seemed pretty good, you know. You can get the cars out, you can hold them out. It's quite fun, it's quite satisfying. It has some aspects of the drifting seem more realistic than the other sims in the way the cars can stay out in the slide. But then another aspect of it that is arguably less realistic is it seems that the cars bog down in the drift a little bit. Sort of lose momentum in a drift, where I think you should in some cases be able to continue the momentum just through the throttle. But it's not bad, it's really good, and to be honest most sims mess up the drifting, so it's only really Project Cars 2, Live for Speed, Assetto Corsa that I think do drifting close to reality. As I say, I've not drifted in reality, so take what I say with a bag full of salt. How are you so good at driving and talking? Because we're driving a Ginetta. This is like driving a caravan down a motorway. it's not hard. You know, this is. I tell you, driving a real car on an English country lane is harder than this. That's why. If I'm driving like a Formula car, I struggle to talk and drive. Oh yeah, the skip to end bug is really annoying. They do need to fix that. It's not fixed in this version. Hopefully they're fixing the final one. For those of you that don't know, the skip to end bug is basically, if you're doing qualifying and you set your lapping like, right, I don't want to wait 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, and you skip, the AI suddenly gain 3-4 seconds in lap time as if they've just had a ton of Red Bull and got super focused. Hopefully they fix that as a day one patch, because it just seems like a weird bug. Don't know what happens there. It should be something they can fix, because it seems like it's a bizarre thing. Well, we've just won our second race. I think we can turn the difficulty up a bit higher. You can mute Bob, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can. You can do it as a volume slider. I'll do it in a minute. What's that, Sean? Have you counted any idiots in the rolling starts? I've not played online because no one's online to play with, Mr. Bumblebee Tuner. What is a Bumblebee Tuner? Yeah, okay, we can do that. We'll do a Formula Car in the snow. We'll take a break from this Ginetta caravan racing. We've got some emails. Dear Gamer Muscle, you've shown extraordinary affinity towards our cars. I haven't, I've just driven one of your vehicles. This component of the game is a bit naff, I have to say. This is what a lot of developers do to try and make a single player in a game that doesn't really have a single player. You know, they've done it in the Formula 1 games, they've done it in the Codemasters games, and it's like, well, you know, it's just stupid, I think. It's a little bit stupid because you always get the same emails regardless of your performance, you know. Well, if you'd come 20th, they'd be like, oh, you bad luck on that race. It's like, it's just a bit naff. So forget this part of the game, didn't happen. I guess it's a way for the game to give stuff to you as a player. But it's just made me miserable, I guess. What's going on? LMP2, okay. How much did this button box cost? Go to Derek Spears Designs website. This one's the Race King. I don't think they make it anymore. I didn't buy it. They sent it to me to review. We've got a review video on our YouTube channel, but I think they're around about £100, maybe a bit more. Unfortunately, button boxes are quite expensive for what they are. I mean, they literally are a box with buttons, but it's the kind of thing that does also last. You know, once you bought it, and it doesn't break because it's buttons. It's nicely done and it works. But yeah, the upfront cost of it is quite expensive considering it's just a box with buttons. if you look forward to those emails, I get trauma from emails because it's every day the amount of spam I get. In reality, I can't take it. Filtering through the amount of junk mails you get, it's unbelievable. You do get nice emails as well, though. So, what did you got? What did you want to see? You want to see a? Did you want to see this one LMP car? Will that do? This Audi R8 LMP? Well, that's a good point, Rush. Keyboard does work well as a button box, but I think the thing with the button box is the buttons are really obvious and big and clunky, so if you're playing in VR as well, it makes it easier to access stuff. You get emails from Nigerian princess offering money. That would be a good feature. Well, I'm going to go for this car. It looks good. Okay, let's have a look at class, and then LMP2 P20. I haven't actually looked through all the cars in here. Ah! Didn't mean to do that. We'll go back again now. Okay, LMP2 P. Okay, we'll give that a go then. Why not? Let's do it at the Nürburgring, the small track to start with. We'll give this a go. I'll just put it on, let's put the AI on 85, I think. 100% aggression. Oh, what you can do is click this rules and regulations thing. I mean, what was it? No, Motorsports preset, and it will automatically give you the opponents, give you the race setting. You know, so that's really cool actually. That's better than the other part of the single player, I think. But I don't want to do an hour-long race, so I shouldn't have probably done that. Let's just do a 15-minute race. Random weather. I'll just have it as sunny, since I've not driven this car before. Felix, so I've answered that question like 300 times now. It's kind of like AC, but it's different. So you have to rewind through the game, because I think people start having a breakdown if I answer that question again. I'll definitely do a video on it, as it seems to be something that people keep asking. Time progression, real time, session start time. Let's have it start in the middle of the day, some sunshine here. We have a rolling start, formation lap. No. Let's have a standing start. No, actually, rolling start's probably better, because otherwise we end up with a pile up at the start of the race. Music is like movie Inception. Turn practice off, qualifying. We can have 10 minutes. Sunny. Is it Simcade? I'd say it's a simulator. I didn't mean to do that. I think we're good with our settings there. Opponents. Yeah. We've got a nice mixed grid. We've got 29 cars. That seems good to me. Yeah, I like the music in this. It's pretty nice and chilled out. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I think people need to stop saying the word Simcade and either just say it's an arcade game, or it's not, or it's a simulator, or it's either a good or bad simulator. I mean, I guess it's hard to describe games like Forza because they're obviously not a simulator and they're obviously not Mario Kart. So then I guess you go, okay, that could be called Simcade. But then everyone uses the word Simcade to just fuel arguments. So you can't win, whatever you do. Okay, qualifying. Look at this. We're right.
Go, go, go.
We're using flappy paddles for this. Probably should be using sequential, but. Sounded like a horse on the back of the car there. That's some kind of turbo or something. Oh, calm down. It just pulled out right in front of me. Oh, okay, there's no collision in pits. That's probably a good thing. There we go.
Tyres and brakes are stone cold, so get them warm, take it easy on the outlap.
I've not tried the kart racing. Well, this is a bit faster. Oh, Jesus Christ! Break my wrists. God damn it. The AI just went right into me there. We were just coming out the pits. Let's restart that. Restart the pit. Restart the quali session. Oh my God.
Go, go, go.
Absolutely smashed there. Yeah, you can have the pits either be automatic or manual. Oh, I need to not speed in the pit lane. I forgot the pit limiter's not on by default. 5th time lucky. We'll get there eventually. There we go. Yeah, the AI are really hit and miss, and it really depends on the car in this. So I'm really hoping the multiplayer works out reasonably well. AI seems really good with the slower cars again. It's when you get to faster cars and the vintage cars, you seem to get some bizarre AI behaviours. Spinning up the rears there. Whoa! Yeah, you watch out for going over the limit on the throttle. It spools up and then the wheels are gone. This car just seems to want to kill me. Oh, it's so easy to lock up with this as well. Flat out through the Schumacher S's. Whoa! Kind of, and then we just started to lose grip. Gearing seems a bit funky.
You're in the zone. Let's take pole.
I'm just noticed the AI behind me there. They're going to take me out. I haven't used it, but I might give it a bit of a tune here because for some reason 3rd and 4th gear seem spaced out really weirdly. First gear as well is too high. I want to be sort of balancing the car on the throttle through there, rather than trundling. Yeah, see, this car's setup's just, it's not very satisfying. It doesn't turn in too much, and the gearing is spaced out. I mean, maybe it's just set up to be really conservative and safe for the sake of it being an endurance car, so you know, you don't want something that's too crazy. But it's a little bit dull, this car. Oh, hello. Oh, it's going to blow up Dijon Jankovic. Sorry if I'm missing chat again. Again, I'm having to concentrate a bit with this. This car doesn't seem to have the bite that I'd expect it to. So I think with cars that... Oh, they're saying that the IndyCar in Project Cars 2 actually has a good bit of bite to it. But I'd expect this car to be stuck to the road a bit more, you know? At lower speeds. I mean, obviously the aero's not really doing anything there, but... I think I've got it on off. It's either on authentic or off. It doesn't sound like it's got any traction control. Throttle a bit hard there. See, it's understeering through the Schumacher S's there. Maybe there's some setup tweaks we could do. Ah, god damn it! Got smashed in the arse. Yeah, I might ask Bob in the garage to tweak the setup. At least you're in a centre. So like second gear through there doesn't have enough speed, but then first gear is the gearing just seems totally wrong on this track with this car, you know. Smashed in the arse. The AI are absolutely poning it into me. How are they getting their fronts to stick in so much? That's what I don't understand. Yeah, you can adjust all the gearing, I just need to sort it out. I'd say normally the default's actually been quite good in this. I'm getting faster. Have to learn the car. Seems a bit of a dog of a vehicle, this though. Tyres are up to temperature. on! Second gear is horrible. First gear is too low. Setup mistakes from defaults to extremes. Thing is, it shouldn't really matter too much with, you know, the whole setup thing. If a simulator's good, you know, it's a case. It's more how you drive the given setup you're being given. Obviously, setups will be different and they'll affect the cars differently. But if a simulator's communicating to you through the force feedback and it's got depth there, you just drive to every setup that you're given and approach it as if it's a different car. What is going on between 4th and 5th gear? Oh, it's jumping. What? Look at this, it's jumping from 4th to 6th. So I'm in 2nd gear here. 3rd. 4th. I'll lift up through here. Right, it should go from 4th to 5th. Here we go. Oh, now it's gone to 5th. Okay. Am I going crazy here? It seems as if it's jumping 2 gears. From 4th to 6th, or the ratios are wrong, so it just sounds funny. It's not doing it now. Am I going crazy here? I feel like I'm losing my sanity. Yeah, maybe there's some weird stuff with the gearing in this car. Okay, we're 17th. I'm using flappy paddles in this car. Maybe it's damage or something. Let's turn the... Okay, gameplay, here we go. Steering assist, no. Braking assist, no. Driving assist, off. I'll put them on authentic. So, anti-lock brakes, low. Traction control, low. I'll leave it on authentic. Auto start engine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you've got race engineer, you can turn that off or whatever you want. Turn your aggression down. Oh, no, you need the aggression down, otherwise they don't make the passes on you. How does it feel compared to AC? I'll have a video on it, don't worry. Or rewind this, and every like 10 minutes you'll get an answer, I think. We're just running the default setup there, so. Thank you, Kobe Tanum, and welcome to the stream. And as I was saying before, any of you that have just popped along, do feel free to click the subscribe button. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Game Muscle videos, and yeah, subscribe for sim racing, VR, and everything else. And I do appreciate you watching. Let's get to the race. I'm just going to put a text message at the top. I'm not going to say anymore how much it's like AC or not like AC, because I can't take it anymore. We'll do a video on it. How's it compared to card? So apologies for those of you that are asking. I'm not answering right now. I've already answered the question so many times. I'm going to have an aneurysm. Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll default setup. No need for a pick because it's... I'm going to do this race and then we'll look at tweaking it through Bob, the setup, and seeing what happens. It's a lot better than Project Cars 1, yeah. Oh. Thanks giving me player control mid-corner there. No force feedback. That's not very helpful. Let's try that again, and let's try and turn the steering wheel in tune with the game. You can do a full qualifying, what's it called, outlap. Turn the steering wheel here. Try and guess the angle. There we go. Yeah, it is lacking in weapon selection. It's jumped to 6th gear again there, so yeah, there must be like a weird bug with this car, or the same.
We can get this place back. Come on, you can do it.
I haven't lost the place, you idiot. Oh, look at the flames coming out outside that car. Oh, that feels good. The braking seems to be good through the force feedback now, actually. I can actually feel it. I need to change the gearing with this car. It's just totally funky. It's not quite as good as Burnout Revenge, you know. It's got better car selection than Burnout Revenge, mind you. So I'm going to have to turn the AI down. I think I've got them on too hard for my skill. Ah! It's a bit slow through there. Second gear's too high. First gear's too low, but isn't. Fifth gear, oh yeah, the gear's totally messed up. I need to fix that. This is practically undrivable with these gear ratios. Maybe you have to shift at a specific time with this car or something. Absolutely smashed through the gears there. Oh, it's done it again. Why is it doing that? It's because it's a Honda engine. Probably a Honda gearbox. Skipping, yeah, it's not even just 5th to 6th, is it? It's skipping from 3rd to 5th. I've been trolled by this car. You can see it doing it now. I think it's met my expectations. Yeah, not the single player, because you know, in terms of how the single player is structured, it doesn't really offer that sort of gamey type single player as much as I would really like. It doesn't feel like a career. It just feels like you're doing lots of single events. But it's good fun and it's nice, and it's, you know, there's lots of options there. There's lots of things to pick from. And it's a nice way to play through the game. But you know, I really like the different weather. I really like the off-road driving. I really like the selection of tracks. The force feedback is good enough, I think. It's not as good as AC force feedback, but it's more than enough to tell you what the cars are doing. I think maybe with some more tweaking and some dialing in, I think we can get more out of it. Whoa, we've just lost the back there. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think you can get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Crucially, you can drive over and on the limit, which is often lacking from driving sims. It is playable with a controller, yeah. It's quite tricky with a controller, but it's better than Project Cars 1 was with a controller. Like, it is actually playable with a controller without too much messing around. driving on the accelerator there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do in a bit, I want to go to practice. Oh look, it's got red no-tech lighting. I'll go to practice with this car and we'll see if we can fix the gearing with Bob in the garage. Might get my muscles sat. Well, the car sounds too loud, or I might. What's too loud? Let me know in chat. Is it me or the game? I like the sound of this car. I don't drive, no, I live next to a train station. When I do drive, it's a Honda Jazz at my parents'. That's about it, really. I've driven a few go-karts, I've driven a motocross bike. But yeah, I don't drive, I don't have a car at the moment. I've always lived right next to a train station or next to a tube station, so it's not really been a priority for me. Honda Jazz is the greatest car ever made. It's quite a chunky car. Normally if I'm driving it, it'll be around Devon. Driving into bloody pheasants and tractors and stuff. But yeah, my view on road cars, I see road cars as a wagon to move you around. So like I say, if I was to buy a car, I would be getting something like, I'd be getting a Skoda City Go. I'd literally just get the cheapest car to run and to maintain. And that is a Skoda City Go. At this point in time, that is the cheapest car you can get. Sure, it's going to be slow, painful, but you know, I don't really care. If I had money, I'd get a Caterham, or get a crossbow, something like that, if I was rich. And but it's totally impractical. But yeah, I don't really have a thing for road cars. I can appreciate the modding scene though, you know, where people do crazy car mods, but it does kind of seem a bit pointless to me. And then you get cars, you know, like £30,000–40,000 plus road cars. It's like, well, what's the point? If it's like a Bentley or something, and you've got someone driving you, then sure, it's going to be a really comfortable drive. But I never really understood those in-between cars. It's not a race car, it's not going to be particularly tight, and they're not as comfortable as, you know, like a ridiculous Beamer or Bentley, you know. So yeah, I've never really understood that really, but I can see how people get sucked into it as a hobby. I'm literally the most boring person when it comes to cars, but because I mean, to me, you know, the reason why I like driving simulators is I like racing simulators. I like racing cars. I like the idea of balancing a car on the limit, playing with the grit, you know, racecraft and that kind of thing. I'm not really into cars as objects. I am with race cars. I think race cars look bloody sexy, but road cars, not so much. Yeah, I say I'm into driving, but I'm not into cars. I think that makes sense. But race cars, certainly, but not road cars. I can appreciate them. They're bloody spectacular pieces of machinery, and the engineering is incredible. And I appreciate any hard work that anyone puts into anything. I mean, be that a car, a building, motorbike, you know, bicycle, it doesn't really matter. You can appreciate when people put a lot of work into anything, but it's not something that innately turns me on. MX-5. I used to quite like MX-5s, but that wasn't because of the car. It's just because I used to like Need for Speed Underground, and I really liked how the MX-5 modded with a really boxy kit on it looked nice. But you know, you probably shouldn't admit to that.
5 minutes remaining. Great job. That's your fastest final second time so far.
I mean, the thing is, I think for actual driving in reality as well, I'd much rather have a motorbike than a car, but it's just too dangerous. I'd be dead within a week. But that, you know, that would be so exciting. I mean, I've driven quite a few motorbikes, not recently, but I mean, the last time I was on a motorbike was on a dirt bike, and I ended up crashing into a hedge. So that's why I wouldn't get a road bike. But you know, in terms of thrill, I don't think anything would compare, to be honest. Do you also have Ian Belling Street? I don't. I have JF. Those of you that don't know, JF is a producer for Sector 3, and basically, unless I'm playing R3E, I just get stick from him constantly. Constant abuse. Oh, Jimmy, what are you sending me money for? With your chickens, they're all going to be dead. Thanks for the donation, Jimmy boy. There's the Tic Tac car. There you go, JF. I have to say, that Tic Tac car in Racer and Racing Experience is the best car in that simulator. You know, ultimate sound, and there's no way to defeat the Tic Tac. But thanks, Jimmy, for that donation. Really do appreciate it. I hope you do have enough chicken feed for your chickens. So, JF, when's the new feature being announced for Race Room? When's this happening? We're not going to punt off. I don't even have damage on to actually do any punting. I can't keep up here. Oh, no, I did watch some of that stream. Sang you too. What is going on? The world's gone crazy. I'm getting destroyed by the AI. I need to take the difficulty down. I'm too bad. Yeah, people are watching here because they like the British accent and the bad driving. And I'm not showing my face, so it's less confrontational. If I show my face, the viewers just drop off instantaneously. No one wants to see that. No one wants to look at that. Yeah, Jimmy, why don't you get on Project Cars so we can test out the multiplayer? I haven't had a chance to actually do it yet. So, what are you doing, boy? Hope you're not playing Formula 1 2017. Jimmy will beat me if we do one-on-one. I think he's faster than me in most cars. He's a machine though, so it doesn't count. Jimmy's practically Swedish in his driving, all whilst talking. It's totally unfair.
1 minute remaining.
I need to pop to the shop to get some milk in a bit, guys, because I've run out of milk and I can't have any tea without milk. And to be honest, life's not worth living without tea. Ah! Oh! That was worse than your average horror game, that. I think it was a Ferrari right past my face. I'm last out. I'm getting whipped by the slower class, by the GT cars. Oh, it's a Ford, sorry, not a Ferrari. It's the new Ford. Oh, hello. Carl donated $5, thank you. Oh, that's broken. Why is that different? I can't see a message, it's totally broken. Sorry, Carl. What's going on? Why is that? That's totally messed up. Thanks for the donation, really appreciate it. Sorry I can't see a message. It's totally, OBS has absolutely destroyed that. I'll be on later, yeah, Jimmy. I'm also going to be playing Assetto Corsa later. Are you going to get the DLC? Because that DLC pack looks pretty exciting. Oh, it's just arrived, yeah, so we'll have to be checking that out. But, as I keep saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if I've got like a bad cold or a mild flu or something stupid, but I might just pass out at any moment. So, as to if I'll be on later, it depends on that. It depends how much energy I've got after I've picked up my milk from the co-op. But yeah, we could play some AC. We could take our clothes off, rub butter on each other. That was certainly certain to get a lot of views. But I really do want to test the multiplayer out in this before I actually upload my review of Project Cars 2, because multiplayer to me is a big thing. Oh dear, I'm driving atrociously. It's really hard to drive this car and breathe at the same time. Dyslexic nightmare. Could never get into AC. Oh, you need to get into it. It's amazing. I'm a total AC fanboy. One of my favourite driving games. Simulators. I just love the force feedback and the cars and the VR and the tracks. I'm a total AC fanboy. I just really like it. For me, it just tickles the pickle. Lagoon is going to be in AC in the next couple of months. If you watch, go to Sim Racing Girls channel. She's got an interview with Marco. I can't say his surname because I'll say it wrong. But if you go to her channel, he talks about it on there. It's a really good interview actually. Sim Racing Girl is actually really good at doing interviews, it turns out. So give us some likes. Oh, look at this car! He's lost his engine cover. Oh, thanks to the... Who is this donating? Paul de Jesus. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate that. The guy's totally knackered. Sorry if you've typed a message and I haven't seen it. As I say, it's not really working properly. Have I already finished the race? Why are they pitting? The race is finishing. So this is something that's a bit funky with the AI. They seem to... maybe they were a lap ahead. But the AI do tend to pit at rather weird times. Which can be a bit strange. Whew, I'm absolutely pooped after that. Yeah. Where are we? Where are we at with everything? You can't buy the DLC. You should be able to just buy the AC DLC through the Steam store, you know? It should come up. Azumi, I can't change that because of the timing. I need to redo the GIF to fix that. So, sorry about that. The DLC is $5.59. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. I haven't tried WRC7. No. I'm on 100 megabit internet, Mr. Jakovic. So we'll have it in 5 minutes. No time for milk. You still there, Jimmy? What do you say to that? Tomorrow, Project Cars 2 DLC. Tomorrow, Project Cars 2 multiplayer. I think that's a good idea. Sometime tomorrow, if you can fit it in. In between your chicken farming, we can. Yeah, I think that sounds good. I've got nothing better to do tomorrow, to be honest. I mean, if it's actually sunny tomorrow, I might go out and finally film my review of this quadcopter I've got. But other than that, streaming tomorrow should be good. Oh yeah, we can get Sim Racing Girl in on it as well, but I don't know if she will stream. But it's worth a try. Alright, yeah, on Twitch would be good because I get those. Twitter would be good as a message because I get them. Oh dear. Right, let's have a look here. Oh, Ian Bell was in this race. I got beat by Ian Bell. Well, that's it. Yeah, you know what, guys? I need to remember to fix this car's gearing. That's not going to happen. It's probably easier just to load up a different LMP car. I'm just going to buy the Assetto Corsa DLC. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Oh, it's only it's not a 3D quadcopter. It's a Bugs. It's called a Bugs 3. It's just it's basically a budget one, but it's good for carrying a camera. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to actually cover it and review it and get some aerial footage. I do want to get a FPV drone as well at some point, but I'm probably going to be moving house soon as well, so there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. It's a complete nightmare. Let's get this DLC sorted out. So, Assetto Corsa, where are you? I've avoided getting a job too. You won't see anything at the moment. Is it? Where is it? Season pass? No, it's not coming up on here. Let's have a look on Reddit. Just trying to get this DLC sorted out. Ferrari Pack now available on Steam. There's no link to it. This happened before. Sometimes you have to go straight. You have to go direct to the store page for it. So I'm just gonna. I'll link it to you when I actually find it. Yeah, they've banned it for Brexit. Has now banned us from games that we want to play. Restarting Steam, that might be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. Good idea, whoever suggested that. Do you own any console? I own a Nintendo Wii U. It's not even mine. It's my ex-girlfriend's. So no, I don't at the moment. I've got an Xbox. I've got a beta tester PlayStation 2, And I've got a Xbox, which isn't mine. It's a friend's that I've had for the last 15 years, and now I need to give it back to them. But they've not. I don't even know where I live at the moment, so I need to give that back to them. But yeah, I don't even use them. I'm probably going to pick up a PlayStation 4 at some point. Search Assetto Corsa Ferrari. Okay, we'll have a look at that. What are you saying, Tom? Tom Anderson? Mod Jimmy Broadbent. Oh, okay. Let me mod Jimmy Broadbent. Here we go. Mod the chicken farmer. You go. Mod. Report user. Block. Add moderator. There you go, Jimmy. You can now paste the link. Oh no, I've made Jimmy Broadbent king of the channel. King Jimmy. He's going to be like Game of Thrones, beheading everyone now. There you go, guys. He's pasted the link in chat. That's nice and handy. Thank you. Handy Andy. 1967. Add to cart. Purchase for myself. I need to log in first. I can't even remember my Steam email address. What is it? Oh, this is what happens when you make a Steam account 12 years ago. Well, that's not going to work. It's trying to do it through here. Is everyone else in chat getting this DLC as well? How many of you in chat are Assetto Corsa fans? Oh, it comes up in Steam anyway now. You just have to restart Steam. So there you go. But thanks for the link anyway, Jimmy boy. £5.59. I've given so much money to Kunos. I mean, they've given me 1,000 hours of entertainment, but still, they've got a good deal of money out of us. I have to say, I normally don't buy DLC, but Kunos have managed to get me to buy DLC. Sneaky Italian, they know how to get money out of you, even if you're a tight English git. Purchase for myself. Yes. Oh, it's not working. There we go. Use PayPal. There we go. Great. Thank you. I agree. There we go. Done. Oh, the chat room's broken. I want more tracks, you know, selfishly speaking. Oh, there we go. Thunder and clouds. Welcome back to the United Kingdom. That's the weather that we're used to expecting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is installing now. It's going pretty fast. I need to the shop to get some milk, guys. Sorry. I also need to get some dinner. I wasn't going to starve. Oh, okay, there you go. There goes the stream. Whoa, come on, stop. That's a good point. Okay. The stream goes into meltdown because I'm downloading it. Okay, so I'm going to download this, probably play this evening, hopefully, and do some driving in Assetto Corsa, checking out the new DLC. I'm going to pop to the shop whilst this downloads. I'm going to stop the stream now and then we'll go back to AC. But thank you everyone that's watched this so far. Everyone that's joined us with Project Cars 2. Carl and Jimmy Broadbent for your donations. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream as well. We will be streaming more Project Cars 2 tomorrow. And as I said, we'll be back in probably about 35-40 minutes with Assetto Corsa DLC pack, and we might even do some more Project Cars 2 later, depending on you know, if we're still alive. But yeah, see you guys in a bit. Take care. I'd say, yeah, actually I'd say look for us at about 5:30. That's when we'll be going back on. See you in a minute.